Hey everybody, welcome to the POS podcast. It's the last podcast of the year.
Is it though?
Yes.
It's the last podcast entirely. We're done. We're done after this.
Yeah.
2022, just too depressing. We quit.
Damn. Sad.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Jax is here. Hero's here.
Hi.
Tom is here.
See, I had to do this to wake myself up. I've been really tired all day, so I had to do
to wake yourself up inside.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, Saber will be here in a bit.
Will he?
Will he?
He'll be here
maybe.
for like the last 10 minutes. You know how it is. And then he'll be like, "I gotta go, Lammy. I need something." And then
Yeah.
Lammy just turned 18, didn't they?
I think he's 17.
No, 17. 18 next year.
I'm 18 next year.
That is how numbers work.
Yeah.
Damn.
Lammy's still jailbait. How sad.
Wow.
But it's like well over 100 in dog years.
I disavow my own statement.
Pants.
Anyway, there's a lot to talk about tonight.
Is there though?
There is.
For you, I only have one thing. I'm like J. Jonah
do
Jameson
you?
right now.
I think you have more than one thing on this list.
Let me look at the list after I'm done with this brain training. Okay.
Yeah, but Tom, you haven't been on in a while.
A few things on here. I haven't. I'm still in the middle of moving and stuff. So
moving to
at my
Nebraska.
sister's place. God, I wish. No, I'm moving to Virginia eventually.
Virginia.
Hopefully in the beginning of next month, if all goes well. But just been working on my video game, super secret. Only a few people have seen anything about it. Super under the wraps. Things are going well.
Nice.
I'm hoping to show it publicly in the next month or two and start getting people to hype it up. Jax, that means you're my hype man.
I am your hype man. I will actively put that stuff. I put your other one in my community tab one time.
Yes, that's what I need. I need to abuse my friend's success for my own success.
Exactamundo.
Oh, I completely forgot. I forgot to remove the pre-stream here and put on our little Twitter handle. I got so distracted by everything.
Past.
Anyway. Sorry, I'm very out of it.
No,
I'm out of it too.
Admiring yourself in your new webcam.
Oh, look how beautiful I am.
No. I had my booster shot on Saturday. And
are you hydrated?
I got some water right here.
Yeah, keep hydrating. Drown yourself. Real talk.
Yeah, but
drown yourself. Real talk. Oh
yeah.
my god.
Patent pending.
No, but the underside.
I guarantee if you drown yourself, you will never get coronavirus.
Yeah, that's true.
But my armpit just feels kind of swollen. It's weird.
Yeah, technically, you can go the rest of your life without breathing.
If the rest of your life ends right now.
Yeah, no, you can go the rest of your life without breathing.
Yeah, but I looked up to see if that was a side effect, and apparently it is. With a few people where it's just a lymph node that becomes swollen, so that means it's working.
What, in your neck?
No, in your armpit.
Oh wow, that's annoying.
It's just your immune system there is just working on it.
Yeah, my booster's up in March, I think, according to my
March.
Because I got it really late. Remember? I got it the day before HomoCon.
Yeah. He had 2 days to recover.
Yeah. So. My shit's still good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Patan.
Well, Saber's here. Yeah, Saber. We hadn't really started the show that much yet.
Well, I'm here now. Hello.
Oh,
I
well, you just premiered.
Congratulations to Saber for his massive. We were about to say something. The massive video project you just debuted like yesterday, the day before.
that was like 15
yeah. It was
months,
just
right?
yesterday.
Congrats.
No, it feels good to be done with it. I am very proud of the results, and if anything, I would love to do it again with another property, but something a bit more probably known. I mean, this one will always hold a place in my heart because it really does feel like it was. If I ever left any kind of cultural footprint in a very minuscule way, this is probably it. And all those animators like contribute in such massive ways to it. But
Right.
but I would not be against doing another one of these like in December
Next
next
up.
year.
The MCU reanimated. Get on it.
Right.
Oh my god, the entire Infinity Saga.
Right.
I need 20,000 animators for free. I am definitely I talked to the server and we're gonna become a reanimation server. But I'm like right now it's like, just fire off suggestions if y'all have anything. And one that caught my eye was somebody saying we can reanimate scenes from Hoodwink. And I'm like, that could be fun. So we'll see. No rush. I'm taking a break.
Right.
Hero, I know you've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy.
You don't know what I've been doing. You have no
No,
idea.
no,
what
I
I've
know
been
exactly
doing.
what you've been. You've been playing
Yeah,
Final
you know
Fantasy
exactly.
14, which apparently has become so successful that they stopped selling the game.
This is not even the first time it's happened. Yeah, it's great. I'm having.
So is
time.
this a good time to get into the game? Should I start playing now?
Yeah, when you can't even buy the game, yeah, that's a good time. Yeah. Endwalker was really good. I finished the story. I have like two nitpicks, but aside from that, of course, it's phenomenal. I still think Shadowbringer's story was better, but Endwalker is a close second, and Heaven's Ward is a close third. That's what I've been doing. I've been raiding. I've been going hard. I am being a tryhard, and it feels great. Other than that, I got a floor sofa, which I can put my kotatsu on, and it's very, very comfortable. And I just woke up from it because I took a nap. And I'm on vacation. Life's good.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That's all. Mostly fun. Oh, and I watched Aggretsuko. That was fun.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah,
I just finished that like 2
I
hours
just finished
ago.
that today.
No, I still need to watch that and Witcher season 2.
Ah.
What about you, Jax? What have you been up to?
God, I'm playing this fucking game right now. Let's see. Nothing. Just went to see Spider-Man last week. That was fun. Working on a new mega video because of Spider-Man, so I had to go collect data. So I'm working on a mega Spider-Man video that'll be out sometime next year. So that'll be fun. Started on now. The script's looking good for that. And yeah, that's all I'm doing at the moment. Cha.
All right then.
Yeah.
I just had my birthday last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a new desk set up now, and also the new PC I got.
Nice.
From NZXT. And the most impressive thing about this to me is that, yeah, I don't even hear it. With my laptop, it was like getting loud whenever I streamed. This, like, I don't hear it at all because like it's also water cooled. So
water cooled gang,
nice.
rise
yeah.
up. I just got a water cooler for my desktop as well, like last month, and it made a huge difference. I was like, "Whoa, this is true power!"
And also, it has a desktop CPU, so I'm looking at OBS right now, and like the CPU says like 2%. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
So streaming is going to be a lot easier with this.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I guess we can move on to topics. But you can ask us questions at the second half of the show. I did remove like some topics off this thing because like there was a lot of stuff on here. But we'll see like how quickly we can get through some of this stuff. But yeah, if you want to ask questions, you can either ask us on Twitter or use a super chat. So the first thing is something a few of us have watched, and that's Back to the Outback that came out on Netflix.
Oh yeah, we just watched that, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched it like a
We just
couple
like, hey, you wanna?
couple weekends ago. Yeah, I watched it I watched it the first time when it came out, and then I watched it a second time with Hero and Jax. Cause like Jax
Wait, I watched what?
Back to the Outback with the snake.
Oh fuck! My brain completely fried. I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you fucking
We
talking
didn't go to
about?"
Outback.
Yeah, we didn't go to Outback Steakhouse. What the fuck are you
Didn't
talking
have any
about?
blooming
Okay.
onions.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, the snake girl.
Yeah. Yeah, because you posted that that thing on Twitter of like an animation test that one of the animators posted.
Yeah, with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, which apparently like that animator that I've been following for a while now too, and I saw them post that animation. Apparently they had to take it down though because they couldn't use they could post the animation but not the audio.
Oh, that's some bull.
Yeah.
Aw, that's sad. I'm glad I saved it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a very cute movie, I think. What did you guys think of it? Because you because I watched it the first time because like I knew about it coming out, and I thought it was really cute with the different like Australian animal characters.
I thought it was perfectly fine. That is how I think that movie is.
Dude,
It was
There-
adequate. That's what I'll say. I like snake girls. That's what I'll say.
I laughed so hard when the nature guy went into a bar and said, "Hey, who wants to go find a bunch of Australian animals?" And like 10 bikers are like, "We got nothing better else to do," and just joined him.
Yeah.
And then there was
The
that
guy-
one woman who was like a grandma.
Yeah, the one
She was-
because there was at first he went into like a fancy bar or whatever, and,
Right.
and it was just like a bunch of like uppity strangers.
Right.
And then he was like, "Oh, you gotta go to next door." And it's like, "Oh yeah, there's the Roughnecks, and there's the one woman that got on the bike. It was just drinking her wine."
Right.
That joke, like I hated that. I know it's supposed to be a pee joke, I know, but I was just like, fucking gross. Like, ugh. It did not do anything for me. Not even funny, just actually gross. I'm trying to remember like things that happened in this movie. I just thought the characters were cute, and I don't remember much about like what happened in that movie, dog.
There was this fucking bitch koala, right? And
Oh, the koala!
Yeah,
it's pretty
the
cool.
koala
Yeah.
is the koala is very much like Nom Nom from We Bare
He's
Bears.
just Nom Nom from that
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
who the fuck is Nom Nom?
Everyone's like, yeah, he's Nom Nom.
Who
You're
the
like, bro,
fuck
who?
is that? Who the fuck is Nom
Oh,
Nom?
an episode of We Bare Bears. Is he more than just a one episode character?
Yeah, he's a recurring character.
He's recurring. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't watch that shit. Yeah. It was what was it? Nah, I liked the snake girl. I liked the fact that they were talking about what the fuck? What were they talking about? Go ahead, Saber.
There was a joke where because the villain's name is Chaz Hunt, and there's a
Chaz
part
Hunt,
where it
yeah.
has his name is C Hunt, so it's cunt, you know.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That is a very Australian joke to make though.
Yeah, I love that they snuck that in. I was like,
Yeah.
brilliant, fucking
Oh, see, I-
fantastic. It's gonna stop C Hunt from.
That's your.
What a thing though. I watched Back to the Outback, and the next day the Bad Guys trailer debuted, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm here for these.
They're like I'm blaming Viva for the spider characters.
It was cute. I think Netflix was a perfect fit for something like this, where if it was on the big screen and just the big screen, I'd be like indifferent. But I
Yeah.
saw it on Netflix. I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. It was fine.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, and like as far as like compared to like some other like animated movies that kind of like drop on streaming or whatever, this was like the animation in this, where I was like, oh, I'm pretty impressed for a studio that I hadn't really heard of before.
Right,
So-
the animation was impressive for certain.
Was
Yeah,
a lot more
especially
effort.
the animation on the Snake Girl for Maddie.
Snake,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her animation was like
Beautiful.
like the most impressive I've seen of a snake character.
Yes, it was.
But
Snake Girls rock.
anyway, yeah, back to the Outback. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's pretty cool. And pretty cute. The next one, I'm not sure if you saw this one, Saber, because I know you were excited for this one. And that's Rumble.
I haven't watched it yet. Have you all seen it?
I watched it.
I don't know.
I
What
didn't know
that
that came out yet.
What?
Yeah,
You haven't seen the newest debut from WWE Productions?
WWE. Yeah. About like giant kaiju fighting, which
Oh,
is,
that
you
sounds
know-
awesome.
yeah,
is-
it's less exciting than it sounds though.
Oh, okay.
Aw. Wait, no.
Just watch Gamera again. All right.
Wait, so was it a letdown?
Yeah, I guess that means yes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like
Tell me, why?
it's not like bad. It's just like it's mostly boring. It's just like it's a lot of nothing happening. Which is
Well,
very
that's
unfortunate.
just like a kaiju movie. It's like 80% nothing and then 20%.
Yeah, but this is
punching.
this is an animated movie though, so you would expect more to happen.
What
Are
were
you
the fight
saying that
scenes
animation is
fun?
inherently superior to live action?
Yes.
Always.
Well, like the last fight scene though is pretty fun, I would say.
Oh, cool.
It just sounds like any Godzilla movie. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's pretty boring, but the last fight scene's awesome. Jax would back me up on that.
Yeah, that's damn straight. The fight scenes are always what sells it.
Yeah. So I guess I won't give too much away if you haven't seen it yet. Because I guess you're gonna watch it, right, Saber?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, like I said, like the fight scenes with giant kaiju and their cool designs. I'll watch that, but like maybe a highlight reel. We'll see.
Well, it's not that long. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes or whatever. So
Yeah, well, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
yeah. I don't really have much to say about it, honestly. It's just like,
See,
oh
there
yeah,
you go.
yeah. Like
Yeah, see, some bullshit.
I will say I did like back the Outback better as far as like movies that hit streaming this past couple of weeks.
Right. Hmm.
The main
good.
monster is voiced by Will Arnett, so which he's
Terry Crews is in it, right?
yeah Terry Crews is in it. He's like the main like antagonist, I guess.
Okay.
Next we'll talk about a couple of shows. First will be one that I know Saber's watched. And that's CentaurWorld Season 2, which I just got finished watching before the show.
Yeah, dude, that one surprised me. Where they're like, "Here comes season 2," and I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, I'm not complaining, but like, wow, it's happening.
Yeah,
Which-
I think they meant for this to be more of a miniseries than a season thing, because like it was like this is it. Like at the end.
It was done, yeah.
Yeah, it was done.
Which I thought we could. I have thoughts. Do we want? Are there any folks who want to hear spoilers or no? Or what?
I'm indifferent either way.
I still haven't watched it at all, so maybe I'll dip for this part because I plan to. But yeah,
It's fun.
go for it.
Go ahead and dip. I'll just go for a few minutes. So,
All right, yeah, I'll put
Fantastic.
I'll put a spoiler tag on real quick. For people who don't want spoilers for CentaurWorld Season 2, if you haven't seen it. All right, so
am I good?
yeah. If you don't want to hear spoilers, just mute the stream and then unmute it when the spoiler tag's off. So yeah, go ahead.
No, I liked the show a lot. I definitely one of those that like popped up, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. And the first season, where you got like this juxtaposition of this action world of humans, where the animation's drawn in a way in a style where it's a lot more serious. Gives me core vibes, funny enough.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the cartoon world is like poofy and round and puffy. Like like even the horse, when she goes from action world, human world to centaur world, she becomes like more cartoony, and I like that. And just the idea of like these perspectives and how different they are, but yet there's still connections. And of course, like the music is just outstanding. So many catchy songs. And I know one of the big complaints for season one where folks were like, I didn't care for the side characters. I don't like the guy characters like Zulius and Ched and Drippleton.
Dirpleton. Yeah.
And I can see where people are coming from with that, because they are a little bit abrasive and very extra, while Wama Winks and Glendale are also very extra. But like, there's just something about them that feels. Maybe it's because ponies conditioned me to be used to these very explosive personality girl pony characters, and I feel that with Glendale and Wama Winks. But season 2, I thought, did a great job with Chet and Dirpleton and Zulius and flushing them out a bit more. The entire like Dirpleton's son thing was great, and how that went full circle.
Yeah.
I love all the songs. I think, to me, what
that's where I might be in a bit of the minority here, whereas like songs sound nice, but I do not remember them at all.
Really?
Yeah.
The Hootenanny song was stuck in my head for quite some time, and then the boat song.
It's like I love to hear Kamiko Glenn sing again though, because like I was like, man, I can't wait for her to sing in the pony G5 pony show.
See, I wonder, because like the songs are very catchy and memorable to me. Like I like the You're Okay song. It's very good.
Yeah, that's the only one I remember, really.
Okay. My only thing is, and yeah, they went to this show with a mission and they achieved it. And I figured that there'd be something at the end where it's like, okay, they'll reveal like this like, ooh, and there's the twist, and there was that.
Yeah, there's
I just wish
twist.
I wish we had 3 seasons, or I wish we could have built. There's some world building that could have benefited the show very much to make it the impact of it all hit harder. And I thought the pacing was a bit weird here and there, where like they're building up this CentaurWorld army, and then there's the big clash, and it felt not as rewarding as I hoped it would feel. And the entire reveal of like the Nowhere King being who he actually was, and that fallout, I'm like, oh, like there could have been a bit more to build this up, and you all are explaining it to the best of your ability. But like, I guess I think about Adventure Time and how they are like the kings of the slow burn, leading into like, let's go full circle now and like bring it all together. Not full circle, kind of full circle. Like the thing with like the Ice King leading into Simon, or Marceline and her backstory. Like that to me feels very rewarding, because it's a nice. To be fair though, Adventure Time had a shit ton more resources and
a lot more seasons.
Room. Right. But and maybe I'm thinking like Infinity Train also kind of gives me like CentaurWorld reminds me of Infinity Train with in some aspects, and I guess all in all, I wish there was a little bit more time to work with CentaurWorld. This one, I wouldn't say it felt rushed. It just felt like compact. Like you all are trying to get a lot done. And you explain it, but I think some time or some extra episodes could have really benefited the overall show. That being said,
even when the last episode was basically a movie length,
it still felt like it was too much. Like with the human princess, and it almost feels like they kind of stole the show away from Horse, in my opinion, where she was more of the observer, and that's fine too. That's okay. Get it? That's okay. You're okay. All in all, though, I like it. Definitely, like if it's not, I wouldn't say it's S tier for me, because I'm doing my tier list videos tomorrow for movies and shows, which I'm already looking at. I'm like, man, there's so much I did not.
Oh, you're gonna do like a tier list rather than like a top list?
Yeah, I think it'd be more fun, and it gives me more wiggle room to like be like, okay, I can acknowledge a film that like, because my end of 3, I won't include that.
I still haven't watched that.
Man, I got mixed feelings over that one. It's rough because like everything about the show is fantastic except for the characters, and that's a problem where I just don't care about them. They don't do it for me, and I hate that.
Yeah,
I love everything else about it.
I still haven't finished Arcane.
Really?
Yeah, so because I was watching
Why?
with Jax and Hero, and
Oh, finish it.
you know when I watch stuff with them, I usually wait.
What?
Yeah, because we date each other and you feel like you're cheating on us. So cute.
No, absolutely go finish Arcane. I finished
Yeah,
it yesterday.
but the thing is, like, I want to record my top list. Is like, I'll mention Arcane, but like,
you might get.
yeah,
I don't know, man. That show is one of those like.
yeah, but
I mean, like,
it's also kind of weird
well,
about it though,
where-
because it's also like by Riot Games, which is weird.
What?
No, Riot Games is basically kind of like Activision, as far as the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but people don't talk about it quite as much as Activision. Because
Okay, be that
yeah,
as it may.
yeah.
Like if we're looking at just the art, though, as
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not trying to
yeah. I know what you're saying, but
where are you on the episode?
we've only just
You're on
finished part
3.
1.
We just finished 3.
Yeah.
Oh my
finished
fucking
episode.
god! Get to it. My god, the episode like.
Listen to you
had-
lecturing me about catching up with stuff.
Listen, I'm tired of you wasting your time watching a movie a day. There's an action sequence in episode 8 that like I was like fucking blown away, where I was like, holy shit, like the way this is done with the colors, with the action, and with the impacts of it all. I'm like, dude, like Imagine Dragons can be forgiven. All right, you all made up for this.
All right, but anyway,
I'm waking up.
we're going off track. Any other thoughts
CentaurWorld,
about
I recommend.
CentaurWorld? Yeah, I'd recommend
it.
it. It's only 2 seasons, so you can burn through it pretty fast.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty fun and very interesting with this concept. Very interesting like reveals at the end. But yeah, if you want to watch CentaurWorld, that's also on Netflix, so you can check that out. Next up, let's talk about Aggretsuko.
Yeah,
here we
that
go.
bullshit.
Oh,
Did
let
Tom
me
finish it or?
I don't think
Tom-
Tom's finished,
Tom didn't watch it.
but Hero has.
Nah, I'm just gonna say I didn't like this season. Didn't care for it. Just
Are you
didn't.
for real?
I really didn't care. I was really indifferent to it most of the time. Like I didn't dislike. I was just colossally indifferent most of the season. That's all I'll say.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm curious because like any specifics?
Well, I know like the first episode I did hate. The first episode I did really. Just
Yeah,
did not
when
like
I was
it.
watching the first, I messaged Jax. I was like, "Haida, this fucking."
Yeah.
Are we doing spoilers or not spoilers?
I guess we will do spoilers, so I'll put that up. Spoilers for Aggretsuko if you haven't seen season 4 for Aggretsuko. So mute the stream if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Because I know like so it was like Ep 1 I did not like. Ep 2 was still kind of but I can see what they were going for. Then like some stuff it was just like going through the motions of like, okay, yeah, this is what's gonna happen this season. Oh, this is what's happening here. I will say I did love all the stuff with Tone. Like I did love that.
Yeah, the stuff with Tone was
I
really
thought it
good.
was all very well done.
I
you know?
thought all that was really well done, but everything else, like, also the stuff with Hippo Girl, I thought that was really
Kawaii.
stuff like that. I think all of that was really well done, but I would say like overall, when I got to like the final episodes, I felt more like indifferent rather than emotionally invested as much as I should be. I was just like, okay. Like it wasn't like oh I fucking hate this. It wasn't like oh I fucking love this. It was just more like okay, there we go. What's the next season? Okay, like that's how I personally
disagree that you're wrong. No, I do want to go ahead and say like I'm conflicted. Why the fuck do I care about this boomer pig who is a racist?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or a sexist pig, literally. I don't get it because there's moments where and I'm so conflicted because I'm like, why do I care that he's getting like fired, or why do I care about him getting like dunked on? Why do I care whenever he shows emotions? And this, I don't know, like it almost like you have a pity for these people who've been so insulated from with their privileged, and now they're starting to feel the burn of like like, oh yeah, like this world's no longer like a silver platter. And they even say that like in the season where Tone and the one Komodo dragon are like, the good old days. And we went to Hawaii. We got bonuses every quarter. I'm like, look at these boomer assholes. Like,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you all had it so good. You're admitting to how easy it was. And then seeing Tone, like, I guess, like, because like I don't know, Draft, our friend who used to work in Japan as a teacher, he told us about like the structure of like paperwork at a lot of these Japanese like institutions.
Yeah, how they're just like outdated, where they don't want to change like how
it's
things
outdated.
work. Yeah,
And
which
drag
this
your feet.
season goes over that a lot.
And I like that, and I also like that. Like, 'cause I mean, I remember like Draft telling us that, and then I watched the Godzilla film. Oh god, what's the one where
Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
and just seeing all the Japanese bureaucracy and all the paper they had. And I'm like, does anybody have a fucking tablet? And then watching this season, I'm like, there you go. Like all the paperwork and accounting, like how sloppy it is, and how Tone uses an abacus and not like a laptop.
Yeah.
or
It's
computer.
interesting. Like with the new CEO they hire, it's like, it seems like this guy's going to be like a good guy. It's like,
corporate fraud. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, at
That's,
least he lifts. That's all I liked about him was he lifted.
Which
Yeah.
I like that too, because like that's very much so corporate lifestyle of being like a machine, and Haida was catching on to it, and Haida wanting to be better and exploring more about how he feels so insecure, and like he's a person on the outside watching Retsuko's life, and yeah, the first few episodes, Laura and I were like, Haida, you bitch, like you fucking
you cuck.
That was me the entire season. I gotta be real. I will say, I thought Haida's character development, like them manipulating him as a character, like the writers or whatever, like the way that they mold him into whatever the character that they want him to be. I was like, I don't like him, but this is a believable and good character development, even if I want to punch Haida in the face.
Yeah.
He's scared. He said, I'm afraid. Yeah. And I legit can relate to that, even if like, because he comes from a privileged background and he's still afraid. No one's immune to fear. It's just different kinds of fears. And for him with his job, him with Retsuko, him being able to do commitments, and yeah, I mean, there's parts where it's like, bro, one more striking, you're out. Like, I'm no more pussyfooting.
Yeah, but then like when Retsuko like gives him that push by like visiting him. And then he goes back and is like, oh, but that also affected him at his job to where like he rose up the ranks like very fast.
Yeah,
which
that was good.
I also liked when Fineko and Sonata teamed up.
Yeah,
like one of these two girls are gonna hook up, maybe. I don't know, I doubt it. All in all, I was very glad that Tone was more in the limelight. I think he's such a wonderful character. He's a very interesting character, and he's such a great foil for like the millennial Zoomer crowd and like the boomer.
Yeah. They gave him like explored like, I guess, like, work depression or whatever, because like you see it when he's like about to get on the train for work, and he like looks in the front of the train.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
He was thinking about jumping in front of it.
Yeah.
Do you think it was that?
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
That's a thing that just happens in Japan. People kill themselves by jumping in front of trains. That's definitely
There's like a whole bunch of videos on that shit on Live Leak.
Well, it wasn't that I didn't think it wasn't that. I also was wondering if it potentially represented like the inevitability of it all, where it's like you will either get fired or quit, but your time's coming to an end, and then like this train coming at you, it's not going to stop. Though also he could have been contemplating killing himself too. Though I don't think so. I think Tone's got too much to live for. It's weird because like he loves his family and he can be very like cantankerous or abrasive, whatever to them. His daughter's loving on him too. Dude, what the fuck? Retsuko, oh, you've got 2 million subscribers. I'll hire my boss. What the? Why don't you quit your job? that felt a little bit like, okay, yes, at least there's a callback to last season, but like I was like, oh wow, that's very lucky. Oh, by the way, Retsuko, you've got 2 million subscribers and like a massive like merch shop, and you could like pay so like a salary to somebody. Like, why are you working at your job still? So, though to be fair, she also, I guess, called back to the previous season when she could have quit and married oh shit, Donkey Boy, Tadano, thank you. And she did not, because I think she wanted to keep working because she wanted purpose, right? No, it was either that
because he
or
didn't
she
want to
wanted to get married. That's right. That's right.
He was like, I don't want to get married, and then I don't want to have kids, and she does.
Yeah. Tadano's like, Rescue's like, that's not what I want.
I feel like maybe one more season and I'll be content. If they keep this thing going for too long, I don't.
Yeah.
Like the entire a big part.
I understand why anime does it, whereas at the end it says like there will be another season, or like it says Resco will return or whatever. But I've been seeing some other franchises do that too, because Marvel does it. Where they'll say like a character or returns, or like at the end of Infinity War they'll say like Thanos will return or whatever, and they do that like in a bunch of Marvel movies. And I blame Marvel for making it a trend, because I saw it at the end of, because I was watching through like the Daniel Craig James Bond movies, and at the end of Spectre it says James Bond will return, and it was like, well, no shit, like it's James Bond. There will always be another James Bond.
Will return in James Bond.
Right. They even did it in that freaking that show You, which is on Netflix. I've been watching. So like they had that like at the very end of the season, like Joe Goldberg will return or some shit like that. It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, we know he's a fucking serial killer. Yeah, we'll be back. Yes.
SpongeBob will return in the next season.
But anyway, yeah, Retsuko season 4. It went into some interesting directions that I didn't expect it to. Because like I thought it was only going to focus on Retsuko and Haida, but it focused on a lot more than that.
Yeah, it was okay.
They got together, and I was like, God damn it!
Finally, they got together.
But
next season will probably break up.
Yeah.
Yes, break it off. It's unhealthy. Break it off.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring Tom back in here.
What's next?
Halo.
I think Halo, which I think me and Tom can talk about.
Halo. Hell yeah.
What did Saber say?
We'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
We.
Yeah, but yeah, Halo Infinite. The campaign came out, and me and Tom played it. What did you think, Tom?
First of all, we should clarify, we didn't play it together because motherfuckers still don't have co-op ready.
Apparently somebody was able to unlock co-op by doing like some strange thing that you don't even need to mod the game. You just have to do like a certain amount of like menu presses, and then it automatically unlocks co-op, at least locally.
Just the Konami code.
Yeah. It was like, well, co-op's already in it, but apparently it's broken because like they reach like certain points of the game and like the game will just break. But yeah,
I beat it all on normal, and I'm playing a heroic run right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably my favorite playing Halo game. I think they really solidified like the gunplay and just like the
as far as like the movement that you have in this compared to like other Halo games, it's very, very fluid compared to other Halo games.
The grapple shot is insanely OP and super fun to use. You don't need vehicles because you have the grapple shot. You don't need skill because you have the grapple shot. It's like, oh, someone's shooting you with a tank. You can just grapple to it and immediately throw them out. Like,
yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I was like, I see, but that's why that's a power up in the multiplayer.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the brutes are trying to punch you. You can punch betterer, and your punches make electricity.
Right?
The grapple shot, unbeatable. It's so fucking good. God, I don't even. I have like a full review coming out on Saberspark 64 next week or so. It's being edited right now, and so without like repeating what I'm going to say in that too much, I think visually it's good but not great. which is kind of to be expected because it's
Yeah,
still an
because
Xbox
they
One game at heart.
yeah they still had to have it run on the Xbox One, whereas like it looks all right.
I
Like,
feel
yeah.
like because like on the base Xbox One it runs at 30,
Mhm.
and everything else it runs at 60. I feel like probably the initial reveal that probably would have run at 60 on base Xbox One, and they're like, well, we're never going to up the texture resolution on everything. It's like, so the Xbox One version is going to suck now, but okay.
Yeah.
So it's also still using the Slipstream engine, which is like the same engine they've been using forever. And obviously that wasn't designed to make an open world game. So I'm surprised they're even able to duct tape this together and have it be as effective as it was. But it looks good. They've changed the art style back to like legacy Bungie kind of Halo. Because like
Yeah.
starting with Halo 4, 343 shifted the art direction because it was a new design team that was kind of retooling everything. I personally never minded the change in art direction. I thought it was different, but it was a different group of artists. So I'm like, that's fine. Like, I know there are a lot of like, you know, people who are super into Halo. Like, why did Master Chief go away in Halo 3 and then he comes out in Halo 4 with different style armor? Doesn't make any sense. He was just in cryo sleep the whole time. 343, explain this. And I'm just like, guys, calm down. But yeah, so they kind of reverted all that, and this game very much is like emulating Bungie's aesthetic with Halo, and it looks good. I don't dislike it. I just kind of feel, as a Halo fan, I'm like, yeah, it's like Master Chief as I remember him. As like an artist, I'm like, it kind of sucks that all of these people at 343 now have to like purposely work in a like restricted way. Like they can't ever go outside that Bungie aesthetic now. They're kind of trapped in copying other artists perpetually because all 343 does is make Halo games. So that's kind of a bummer just from like a creative perspective. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to keep going. What else do you want to add?
Well, I was gonna say with the because I never played Halo 4 or 5. I guess I've only played the Bungie games. But that's because like I'm not like as big of a Halo fan as like other people are, so I've only like played them mainly co-op with my friends. So it's funny. It's like this is one of the only Halo games I've played solo.
And only because you had to.
Yeah, only because I had to. Because like if co-op was at launch, I would have like hit you up and said, "Hey, let's play together."
Oh, absolutely! This game is going to be so fucking fun to play.
Oh, it's going to be really fun with co-op. Because like there's certain like missions and stuff. I was like, this is just meant to play co-op.
I feel like if you play this co-op, you have to play on Legendary because like 2 grapple hook people in one campaign will just destroy any other difficulty.
Yeah, I suck though, so I'd probably die a lot. But the one thing that stood out to me about this game is that they added a lot of humor back into Halo, as far as like the enemies with like the grunts and the brutes, just like making like random comments, like when they don't even see they don't see the Master Chief, or like they're just having like these conversations. It's pretty fun in that aspect.
Oh yeah, they always had that a little bit in like the classic Bungie games with like the grunts and things like that.
Yeah.
But in this one they dial it up to 11. Like they have the comms officer grunt with all the propaganda towers, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like every tower you go to, there's like some stupid little thing, and you can just like watch clips of them just saying the dumbest things. Like they even like reference Craig, the comms officer does in one of them. It's like so good. Even like the dialogue while you're fighting, like there was one time I was just running around and one of the brutes was like, "Come out and face me, you know, Spartan." And one of the grunts is like, "He has ears, you know." So it's really great. So Paleo, as somebody who hasn't played Halo 4 or 5, I didn't play 5 because I've never owned an Xbox One, but I played 4 and I watched the campaign, like cinematics for 5. Did you have any idea what the fuck was going on in this game? Like narrative wise?
Sorta, I guess, because apparently a lot of this is also borrowed from Halo Wars, as far like the Banished are from Halo Wars.
Which I didn't know until after I beat the game, because they never mentioned that. like everyone at 343 is like super Halo nerds, and I guess they assume everyone else is too. Because like in Halo 4, the first cutscene, they just cold introduced Dr. Halsey, and like you might not know who Dr. Halsey is. She's like the one who started the Spartan program. Like I think she was originally introduced in the Halo, the Fall of Reach novel. That's where I first read about her because I read that book like back in high school. So I knew who Dr. Halsey was, but I'm like, I don't know if anybody else was. I mean, she's mentioned at the end of Halo Reach, but even then, if you don't know like the greater lore, you probably don't really know who Halsey is.
Yeah, that's
But
probably
she's,
why
like,
they show a lot of like kind of little flashback looking scenes of like of like Chief and Cortana. So
because like in Halo 5, Cortana turns evil,
yeah,
and like that's what this game is like kind of the fallout of, and it's just like I don't know. I I like what 343 is doing story wise with like Master Chief because they're trying to like give him more character, right? Because like in the Bungie games, he's just kind of like, I need a weapon, and then bloody blah, shoot, bang bang.
yeah.
You know, like he has really good like moments just being a badass. And there's like so many iconic like moments too. Like, what if you miss? I won't, and then just drops the bomb back on like in Halo 2 and stuff. So there's like a lot of cool moments like that, but he's never like a character. They kind of poke at that a little bit in Halo 3, but not too much. With Halo 4, they dive deep into like Chief's relationship because like in Halo 4, Cortana's like breaking down. Like they establish that like AIs can only exist for 7 years before they start to deteriorate. And that's what Chief is trying to do in that game is like save Cortana from getting like destroyed, even though they get slingshot into this new Halo ring in the beginning of the game. And so that game is very much about Chief and Cortana's relationship and how like he's just like this isolated super soldier, and this is like the only like human connection he has is this AI. And now she's like basically dying, and she does die in the end of the game. He can't save her. And so Halo 5, you find out somehow she is still alive, and now she's decided that AIs are better than humans, and they're going to like rule over them as gods through these like ancient Forerunner weapons called Guardians. That's why it's called Halo 5 Guardians. And there's like a big like Civil War sort of thing of like Chief versus Spartan Locke, other new character introduced, really dumb. So like 343 has done these like really like interesting character studies of the Chief and making him more of a character, like more of a human being, and like looking into like what a human in his perspective would do rather than just like being almost a caricature of like an action hero, which I like, but they never really stick the landing. Like it always kind of feels like they don't go far enough with it. And then at the same time, they take a lot of the like underlying lore ideas of Halo and do crazy shit with them. Like in Halo 4, you find out that like humans were actually like the ancient enemies of the Forerunners way back in the beginning, and they're like destined to become the Reclaimers to like restart the Halos and crazy shit. And it's just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
and it's like Master Chief, you're like the next step in human evolution, and I'm like, what the fuck? Get out of here. It's like really weird shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff of like humans and Forerunners where I was listening to it. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's just like none of this was necessary. There's like such a simple story in Halo Infinite in the beginning. It's like you got your ass kicked, and now you're coming back to get your ass kicked. You know, like it's been 6 months. You've been floating out in space. The UNSC got their asses kicked. You have to go punch some brutes in the face. It's like that's it. It's all I needed. I have motivation. But then they start introducing all the stuff with Cortana and trying to tie up everything from Halo 5, and it's like it kind of gets really confusing by the end because you're just watching all these like flashbacks of like Cortana interacting with like the brute chieftain guy that you're fighting, Atriox. For reason you're not even fighting him, he's not really in the game. He's supposedly dead, but he's not actually dead. And so you're just like the last quarter of the game is just like you going from room to room watching these cutscenes that have already happened, like memories of Cortana talking with Atriox, which is trying to like put the story together. And I'm just like, why is any of this in the game? I just want to go punch the guy who's been taunting me this whole time. That's
it's funny because like with those holograms and stuff, I was just like walking past them and I was like, oh wait, I should look at this.
yeah.
I was like, wait, do I need to know this? But is it? You brought up something I was going to mention. Like the last third of this game, at least, like depending on how long you take with like the first part of the game, because like as far as like the open world stuff with with this game, it's not very open worldy, like compared to other things. It almost feels like they put two games together, like
Yeah.
with especially with the second part of the game, or I guess the last third of the game, where it just feels like a normal Halo game where you just go through levels. Where, because like if you reach a certain part of the game, you're not going to see that open world until you beat it.
Yeah, like the beginning of the game, like there's like 3 kind of small levels that serve as a tutorial.
Yeah.
And then you go out in the open world. There are basically like dungeons. You go into the Forerunner structures from time to time. Go through like an actual level. Then there's a lot of like map markers you have to do on the open world part. The open world is basically the second level of the original Halo, but an entire map. You know,
Right.
It's like when you first touch down in Halo 1, there's like you got to find 3 Marines on 3 different crash sites, and you're driving around in your Warthog in this big map of the original Halo. And that's like, what if we made a whole game about that? Now you have to rescue like 50 Marines, and there's like a bunch of other objects you got to go attack and stuff, and capture forward operating bases and things. Very, very open worldy.
Yeah. And there's like targets.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's not a lot of secrets on the map. Like, if
I think that's because
for it.
I found out something when I was replaying Spider-Man. As far as what makes, I guess, Spider-Man a fun open world game compared to like others. And
Everything
also,
else.
well, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the thing is, like, it's very with Master Chief. It does help that it's a lot easier to like move around with him compared to other games. And that does help Spider-Man a lot, is the traversal. But also, as far as what you're saying about like secrets, you just see all the map in the beginning. You're like, oh, it's all here. Whereas with Spider-Man, you unlock the different areas of the map, which I find that rewarding. Like when I unlock different areas of a map in a game like Spider-Man or Breath of the Wild or whatever. With Halo, it's like it's all there, but I don't care. Which is kind of odd.
This is like an insult to Halo, and I don't mean it in a negative way. It's just a thought that was in the back of my mind the entire time playing this. I'm like,
whoops.
This is a better Metal Gear Solid 5 in that it probably has the best gameplay loop of any entry in the series, but it's a move to an open world, left you with a big empty space that has almost nothing in it outside of like the map markers, and there's very little reason to explore it.
Right. That's why I think with the FOBs, the fobs, they should have made those like the parts that would unlock the map or whatever, but they just have it there.
Yeah. They're all just there, right?
Yeah.
I think like maybe at one point they were going to do something like that, because like if you just move around the map, it'll say like new area discovered.
Right. But it's like I already knew this was here though.
That's why I came over here. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I followed on the map. So I don't know. I think it would have been interesting if you could stumble across those things as opposed to having them already marked.
Which you can do that in like Breath of the Wild or Spider-Man, where it's like, oh, I stumbled across this. So
yeah. I don't know if this game like gains anything by being open world as opposed to like a more traditional linear campaign. I feel like in terms of like being able to support like the grapple shot mechanic, this works very well, but that feels like the only strength the game has. Because like,
right,
I think of like classic Halo, like in Halo 2, like trying to like take down the Scarab, you know, like a really cool set piece like that, where it's like running through the city and it's like blowing up tanks, and you're just like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And you have to like chase it and corner it and then jump into it and like fight all the guys in there to shut it down. There's no really big scripted sequence like that. There's no set pieces really in this game.
Yeah.
There's just installations to break into, and it's fun because the core gameplay is like the best it's ever been in the series. And the grapple shot makes just moving around and being able to, you know, pull yourself into enemies for melee attacks like verticality of being able to like dodge and move out of the way from like and move from cover to cover. Like if a weapon's depleted, you could just like grapple another weapon off of like, you know, the other side of the room to you and like keep going without breaking cover. There's a lot of really good moment to moment things, but you lose a fair bit of the kind of grandiose set pieces that kind of defined Halo's campaigns of the past. I don't know if that's because the game feels kind of unfinished, right? Because like two of the islands in like the top right side have almost nothing on there, and I'm like, those are DLC zones, obviously.
Right.
So that's going to be populated next year.
Because they
So, like,
have
there's
said
still
that like
time to
Halo,
add
they want to continue like supporting Halo Infinite and adding more stuff to it. It was like, wow, this game wasn't even finished. Like when you were gonna like even after you delayed it.
Right. It's still not done. And like the multiplayer still has a bunch of problems too, which I haven't played much yet, so I wouldn't even know. But yeah, it just seems like the typical live service thing where it's just like we'll release a half-done game and we'll go from there. And I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I think it's worth playing because I'm playing it a second time already, and I'm still having a great time. But I just hope that if they're going to add more to this campaign, and they are, because they have a stinger at the end of the campaign with Aatrox coming back.
Right.
He's not dead, and there's like a whole thing with the Endless, which is this new enemy that's like the Flood version 2 or something. That's all interesting stuff. And that definitely seems like it'll be part of the campaign going forward. I just hope they use the extra development time to add more biomes, because like there's literally just two locations. There's the Forerunner dungeon tile set and the Overworld forest tile set, and that's everything in the game. So adding some more locations and adding some more like scripted set pieces, like with like more traditional kind of big moments, big blockbuster kind of moments that really define campaigns, because those definitely are missed.
All right. Next is our big topic, our big topic. And that's gonna be Spider-Man.
Halo. What's next?
Spider-Man. Yeah. All right, Spider-Man. No Way Home.
Yeah, y'all saw that, right? How was it?
Sucked.
I know. It was fucking amazing. Put that spoiler screen.
All right, yeah, we're gonna have to put the spoiler screen up again. There's a lot of spoiler talk tonight. All right,
yeah,
so we got the spoilers screen up for Spider-Man. So if you don't want any spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home, if you haven't seen it over the weekend, mute the stream now. It was the biggest opening of the pandemic. As far as like,
they're so lucky that fucking this pandemic is going on. Endgame, you lucky. Endgame, you fucking were saved by that fucking pandemic. I swear to God. All right, that is what you were saved by. Spider-Man would have dusted you. Never forget that. But yeah, so spoiler screen's up.
Spoiler screen is up. Mute your stream now if you don't want any spoilers.
Yeah, so when Goku showed up at the end, that was the hypest fucking moment. I can't believe he's an MCU character. Smash and MCU? Fuck, dude. Yeah, so that was fucking great. Hero got out of here. Yeah, that's right. No, I love this movie. What I always do is, let me post this in my freaking thing too, just in case people want to. But like, what I always do with these type of movies that give me like this emotional rush like this is like I wait a couple days, because I've noticed for myself, Hype Brain plays a massive account of like how I react to certain things. So it's like, oh God, like I will fucking just like say, oh, this is the best thing fucking ever, but it's Hype Brain over like taking me. It's overtaking me, and it's just making me not think rationally on stuff. So I let it calm down a bit. I went back and I thought about it, and then I watched some clips again because they've been all over YouTube and other places crazy enough. So it's just like shit, it's fucking nuts. Like I see them everywhere. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's like probably my favorite, but I will openly acknowledge it is straight up because Toby and Andrew showed up. Like that scene right fucking when they showed up.
Like even though we all knew, like we all knew it was going to happen because of like just the leaks and also like the Brazilian trailer that showed Lizard getting kicked in the face by nothing.
Yeah,
it was like
and the fucking action figures. They gave away the action figures.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, you didn't see that? Because
I didn't see the action figures.
They had a Spider-Man No Way Home.
They'll never fucking learn, dude.
Yeah, they haven't learned. They haven't learned since the 90s with Godzilla '98. But like, no, they had action figures.
Even though we knew, like, there was some doubt in my mind, like some little doubt in my mind. I was like, what if they don't though?
I'd be pissed. I would have left it. Or no, like if that fucking, it's like that fucking tweet said, like, what if it was all Mysterio's illusion? I would have fucking burned that theater down. I would have burned that fucking theater down. I would have, like, the projectionist is catching these hands, everyone. It's just it'd just be violence. But yeah, that was a fucking beautiful experience to experience live in the theater. Just seeing like, oh, that's Andrew, or like just see him like come through, and it's just like, oh fuck, oh god. But like, it was one of those moments where you sort of just like look at everyone like, y'all were talking shit about Andrew before, huh? Where's that energy now?
Right?
Huh? Where's that energy now? Huh? Yeah, exactly.
This movie is such a great example of how your script is the most important thing. No matter how many billions of dollars you throw at special effects, if your writing sucks, it doesn't matter. Because like you took a character that everyone treated as a joke and made him probably like one of the most like emotionally resonant parts of this entire fucking movie.
Exactly.
You took a character that's basically like ended on like this like emotional like cliffhanger that didn't really work for a lot of people, and you brought that into this movie, continued that plot thread on, and made it way more fucking impactful, and actually gave it a follow through.
Yeah,
and it worked, and like now people want to see Amazing Spider-Man 3, and it's
that was like trending today. It was like make the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, make Amazing
and like
Spider-Man.
I mean, I've always thought Andrew Garfield was probably my favorite Spider-Man. Like
he's
live
the funniest
action
one. Yeah, he's easily the funniest one. Like when they were all like, that was, honest to God, that is one of my small things that I really loved about the movie, was just all of them interacting with each other. Every time they were all interacting with each other, I was like as giddy as a freaking 4-year-old. I was just like ecstatically just enjoying every moment. I sort of wish there was more moments like that, just like them all having the conversation, because like there were all these like, oh, I want this conversation to happen and this conversation to happen, and lo and behold, it happened. Like the whole organic web shooting thing, that was fucking
that was good.
Did you not feel, Jax? Did you not feel like this is something that like you would have done at like 13 with your action figures?
Yes,
but like it was had a budget.
Yes,
I was gobsmacked. It was like, how is this real?
Exactly. And then like one of the things is like, because this is one of my complaints with like majority of Spider-Man films, but this is the one time it didn't bother me, is like during the end fight scene, they always like remove the mask, and it's just like, oh, whatever, something like I want Spider-Man to be Spider-Man when he's doing his shit. But the fact that we hadn't seen Andrew and Toby so long, whenever they kept removing the mask, I was just happy to see them all together. Like that was just one of those moments where like I was just like, you know what? You get a thing when they did their landing scene, they all landed together. That shit was like when they all swang together, and then like Tom like fucking like grabs like shoots webs at both of them, and they use that web to like launch themselves. I was like, oh fuck! I was screaming just like, oh my god, this is so fucking dope.
I just like because I was worried like because I knew the movie was like 2.5 hours or whatever. But at the point where like Green Goblin like releases all the villains and stuff,
right.
And then like that big scene happens, and I was like, it feels like the movie's ending soon. It's like, are we really not gonna get that much time with like Toby and Andrew? But it was like, no, we got quite a bit of time.
Yeah,
because I was surprised. I was like, oh, it just felt like the movie was like almost ending, but it's like, no, it's just entering the third act.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, I think something that's really interesting watching all three of the characters interact was that, like, John Watts was the director for this, right?
Yes, he was.
I don't know how much he had to do with it versus, like, you know, whoever wrote the script, because I don't think he wrote the script for this. I haven't looked it up. But, like, just the way that, like, you have 3 actors portraying Peter Parker, and they all are written like they were in their films, you know, like Toby and Andrew and Tom Holland's performances as Peter Parker, they're all different people despite being the same character. You know, it's weird to even
I love
about.
it when they're all like, in the lab, and like they're about to go out. Just like Andrew asked Toby, I was like, "Are you gonna go out like that, or do you have your like suit or whatever?" And he lifts his shirt. He's
Yeah.
like,
You know what's funny about that? His casual clothes were his clothes from the PS1 game. When he like Peter Parker's casual clothes. Yeah. So I thought that was funny. Also, one thing I really loved that was small was like you could hear each of their themes like sort of like mesh together when they're like playing. Like if you go listen to like when they're all together and stuff like that, and they're all Spider-Man, they play like their various themes. I was like, oh, that is so fucking dope. Like the same thing with like fucking Electro, because Electro has a badass theme from Amazing Spider-Man 2. They played that like one time, but it was fucking hype. I love that entire scene. And oh god. Oh god.
I was gonna say Nathaniel Focus saying that in the chat about like when Andrew was talking to Toby and Tom Holland about like, man, you guys are great. I'm lame. It's like so. It's like no, you are amazing.
You're amazing.
It's so fucking meta. It's like I know what you're trying to do here, Sony. It's like please like our movies too.
No, it was so great though because it was just like it. First off, their chemistry was all super.
It totally
cool.
worked. It totally worked. But you could also tell that they were talking about two things at the same time.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and then like the whole thing of just like, what type of villains have you fought? And he's just like, oh yeah, well I fought this like black goo alien. It's like, man, I want to fight an alien. Man, you guys are like cooler than me. I fucking did. Like, I love that. I wish that went online. I really hope when the Blu-ray comes out, there's like an extended scene of them just doing like longer conversations on various things. Because that was so fucking great. And then like whole. Oh, go ahead, Top.
I liked when Tom is just like, look, you guys don't know how to be a team. Like, I don't mean to brag, but I was part of the Avengers. And they're like, what's that?
Yeah. They're like, what? Whoa, cool. What's that?
You're part of a band? You're a band? I didn't know they were a band. It's like, no. Avengers superheroes. It's like, how is this helping? This man just tell us. Like, that was fucking great. Or like, thing,
when what?
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, in the chat, it says love when Ned asked Toby Peter if he had a best friend. He was like, yeah, Toby was like, what? Yeah, my best friend tried to kill me.
Well, you know what's funny about
died in my arms.
Well, you know sad. What's funny about that is Ned Leeds is Hobgoblin. So was that like a hint, like later on, like because they did this whole thing in the comics, like, oh, it's Ned Leeds, no, it's Roderick Kingsley, no, it's Red Leeds, no, it's Roderick Kingsley, and they did this whole back and forth thing. So like when he goes like, I promise I won't be a supervillain and try to kill you later on, it's like, oh, is that a thing? Are you leading into Hobgoblin later? Like, okay, that'd be interesting. He has lost a lot of weight, so let's see what you're doing there.
Yeah,
so that was.
I wonder how they would even do that though, because like now that like. At the end of the movie, like nobody knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that means that he would have no reason not to fucking try and murder Spider-Man.
Well, no, it could literally be like, hey, he's talking to MJ, and then Ned somehow falls for MJ, and then he's just like, I don't like this motherfucker talking to my girl. And then like some shit, I don't know, like like take it from there. Like
I do have a question. Since they have it to where like everybody forgets Peter Parker, he goes up to MJ to like try to talk to her again, and then sees that like both like Ned and MJ are like happy about like getting to MIT and everything, and Peter decides, I'm just gonna leave them the way they are, and not get them involved with like my stuff. I'm wondering, like, are they going to do an MCU version of Gwen?
Well, they're probably what they said they were gonna do. I heard this. From a thing. I've heard this from various sources. They said they want to do like 3 sort of trilogies. So like one where Tom Holland's like freaking in college years, and then one where he's like fully adult. So that'd be interesting. So they're probably gonna introduce like Miles as like his next friend.
Yeah,
in the PS4 game. Like, oh, this is Miles Morales and stuff like that. But what's funny is there was this kid who's an actor who met Tom Holland back in 2016, and like he's grown to be like a pretty established actor himself. And so it's like, oh, that's just manifestation of Miles Morales right there, because the kid looks like Miles Morales. So if that kid like auditions, that'd be freaking adorably and great. But that was great. But something which I guess we could talk about, because I love the Spider-Man scene, it's just like Green Goblin and the other villains. Like first off, Willem Dafoe, masterclass. Like,
he was great.
Oh my god.
It's like he's like, oh no, you're a Spider-Man. Well, there's a tradition. You got to catch these fucking hands, and he fucking just, oh, that was beautiful. When he's like fucking just like getting hit in the face by Tom. He's laughing at. I was like, oh, this is so hype. And then he just
Dude,
bombs
fucking
him.
strong enough to take whatever or strong enough to get whatever you want, too weak to take it. I was like, oh man, that's a fucking good line, dude.
It's so good. And then like when they got rid of his mask, I was like wondering, like, okay, so is he not gonna have a Green Goblin thing? But then it's just like Willem Dafoe's crazy as fuck. He can pull it off.
Yeah.
It worked. It worked.
Dude,
It worked.
Yeah, he's got the
how,
purple
like,
hood.
his like hobo clothes end up becoming like
it becomes like that purple
such
hood that he
a subtle little way.
Yeah. That was so good. That whole scene was great. I did think it was a bit weird that like Sandman was like all sand and then turned back into Thomas Hayden Churchill. But then I found out he wasn't actually in the movie. He just did voiceover. So I was just like, that was interesting to me. Like it was like, okay,
I figured that was the case because they only showed him right near the end, and he was like just happened to be inside the Statue of Liberty where they could like key him in. I'm like, did they just like record him at home or something?
Oh no,
like,
but they pretty much
set.
Someone found this out. You can literally look at the scene. They literally took the scene from Spider-Man 3 and re-edited it to him turning back to the human. Like that's all they did. Really. Like they did the same thing with the Lizard. When the Lizard turns back, it's literally the same footage from the end of Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Oh.
So, yeah, so that I guess work around. I ain't complaining because everything else like worked so well there. Doc Ock I thought was great, but there are some things I've like questions on. So like, how did Doc Ock know that Norman Osborn was Green Goblin? Like he didn't know that. He never found that out. I just marathoned all the original live tweeting, and he never found out that Norman Osborn was Green Goblin. So I thought I was like, yo, Osborn. So because when he sees him, he's like Osborn. It's just like
I think they. I mean, I don't think they ever talk about it directly in the Raimi trilogy, but like Sandman says that like it was a big story on the news when both of them died.
Yeah.
So I think like for the purposes of this movie, like both of their deaths were very publicized.
Yeah, they're publicized deaths. I don't think that no one besides like Harry, well, not even Harry. Like, well, I guess Harry at the end, the butler, and then Toby Spider-Man knew that like Norman was Green Goblin because everyone just saw him as that fucking green suited thing. So I thought that was a bit interesting to me. Also, the way they explain like, oh, for some reason, Electro, when he gets yellow electricity, now has a cool fade and now is like completely chill and his teeth are fixed and all this stuff. And it's just like, when did you get all this swagger, Electro? It's just like,
well, that's the thing, right? It's interesting how like this movie treats Andrew Garfield with a lot of respect, but like the actual story of those movies as a joke, like they dunk on Lizard constantly in this movie and how stupid he was and how stupid the motivation was. I mean, it's true. It was pretty campy.
It is funny.
I mean, it's in line for the Lizard because that's just who the Lizard is. Like he's always been kind of a, not the most deep and introspective villain.
It just reminds me of that Spider-Man panel that goes around all the time. Is like
you could cure cancer, but I want to make everyone dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, Lizard works when it, like, because, again, that whole thing with Lizard, that did make me laugh, too, when, like, Electra's like, oh, what do you want to do, turn people into fucking lizards again? And it's just like, oh, look, it would have worked for blah, 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 and stuff like that. And then just the villains' chemistry with each other was funny, because it was like, it did feel very much like the 90s cartoon in a way when the villains were hanging out, or, like, they were just, like, talking shit to each other. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? Why are you talking about this? This is silly. This is dumb. And then, like, the whole thing where I will say I was a bit like, okay, Doctor Strange, I thought it was evil Doctor Strange or Mephisto at first. Like I actually generally thought that was Mephisto, like, because I was like, why are you agreeing to do such a small thing? And then also like something
Doctor Strange was sacrificed to make this movie happen.
Right?
There was just everything he did was basically out of character. Like there is no way he would have done it.
Right.
Basically anything in this movie. And okay, let's be real. There is literally 0% chance that Spider-Man could use the power of math to beat Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension. Like, not a chance in fucking hell.
Right.
That's some Star Trek Discovery level bullshit dialogue. Like, I could just hear, this is the power of math, people. I'm like, get out.
Yeah, no,
like,
that
Strange would have fucking destroyed Peter. Like, not even a chance in hell.
Right. Or I did like the one scene where like Spider-Man's soul's out his body and his spider sense is making him move his arm. Like I thought that was I did like that one scene where this was like his body's doing some ultra instinct
Someone had
shit.
said that like it's barely, because I've only seen the movie once, but someone said it's like barely visible, but like they actually added in the little like wavy things above Peter's head when that's happening, like his spider sense is going.
Oh, I need to see that. I never saw that.
Yeah,
So
I didn't notice it. They said it was very subtle, but like yeah, apparently that is there, which is really cool.
Right. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. The whole scene where they're talking about like I did like there was a ton of fan service, but like I've heard like several reviewers say this, but Corey said it best from Double Toast, where he was talking about like how when they use fan service or Easter eggs, they weave that shit into the omelet. It's not like fucking Star Wars where it's just like, hey, you know that thing? Yeah, there it is. Bye. It was like, no, this is actually part of the story. This Decker was like, hey, I'm something of a scientist myself. And it's just it's the meme, but it actually pays attention to the story because Hell is just like, yeah. So that whole shit I thought that was great. The fight scene thing were great. The way he's like on his own suffering now. The whole thing where how Aunt May like died. Like I thought she was about to get like impaled like right through the wall, like the glider was gonna come in and slam her into the wall. And so when it knocked her by, I was like, oh shit, okay, I guess she's I know that hit her, but like it can't be like that bad if she's getting up, because like the way she was like, oh, I'm good, like that was genius. Like the way she was like, I'm good, and then she's like, she didn't even realize how bad she was hurt.
It's just like fucking adrenaline. You didn't even notice you were like fucking bleeding out.
Yeah, it's just
dude, like that's like the second time a Spider-Man story has killed Aunt May, and just fucking took me totally by surprise, because the PS4 game did the same thing, and it's like, they fucking murked Aunt May. That's insane, and they do it here too. I think like this is like my thesis for this movie is that this movie simultaneously makes the Amazing Spider-Man films better.
Yes,
and it makes the previous Holland Spider-Man movies better, because I think everyone's like who's like a big Spider-Man fan, their biggest complaint with these previous two films has been Holland is a great performance, but this really doesn't feel like Spider-Man.
Yes, Iron Man Jr.
And that was either always part of the plan, or it was fucking course corrected and saved here, because all of that comes back into play here. And like, this is the movie where, as far as I'm concerned, like Tom Holland becomes Spider-Man. Like that pathos, that pain, that like,
especially the end.
Yeah, like it's such. He feels like Spider-Man now. Before it just seemed like a character wearing the suit, you know. But like now it's like, these kinds of stories that like self-sacrifice and the just like doing the right thing at like so much personal cost and doing it anyway is so instrumental, so like foundational to Peter Parker as a character. And Tom Holland's previous movies didn't really have that, and they were just serving as like a very long drawn out trilogy origin story for Peter. And like when May's dying and says, with great power comes great responsibility, I'm like, they did it, they brought it all.
They did. Also, go ahead, finish up your talk.
I was just gonna say, like, that was like the linchpin moment of like, I get everything they've been doing now, and this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, but something I was curious about, because even though I know he referenced it in Civil War and in Homecoming very briefly, when Toby's freaking Spider-Man are talking about like Uncle Ben and all other stuff, he's just sort of looking at them like, yeah, but he doesn't say it like, oh, that happened to my Uncle Ben too. So it's just like, was your Uncle Ben like a big part of your life or something like that? Or was like, is this a completely different storyline for how that worked for you? Because I know someone in your life would die, because it was like, that was like something like I was like wondering when I saw that.
I think that's always been like the question, right? Like the two kind of things I think I've personally at least had with Tom Holland Spider-Man up until this point was that his origin obviously is kind of unclear, which is fine, because it's just such a part of pop culture now that it's okay that they kind of skipped over that. But like going into his movies, that scene is so like, it's literally how he becomes Spider-Man. So not knowing really where it came from, kind of like built on top of the fact that he kind of was being given all this tech and didn't really feel like the character. So that kind of like was an issue.
Right.
but like again, like what's the deal with Uncle Ben? Like, was Uncle Ben ever really there? Was that really foundational? They just kind of like reference it very like offhandedly when he comes in Civil War. So
Right.
it feels like Uncle Ben for Tom Holland's Spider-Man was not nearly as big of a deal, and it was May here that is like that's this version of Spider-Man's moment
Right.
of becoming Spider-Man. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just like this is like it basically takes the origin like first third of like all the other Spider-Man movies and makes it a trilogy, which is crazy. But it works so well because like I was honestly expecting this movie to be like fan service at best. Like I was like I wasn't the biggest fan of the previous two movies, and I was
I didn't like
expecting it to
Far
be
From
more of
Home
the
at all.
same. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I was kind of just like I'm here for Toby and Andrew and the villains, and like I'm sure like you know Holland will have a decent performance, but it'll just be more of the same. But they totally fucking flipped the script on me, and I came away being like, I'm ready to see more of this Spider-Man. You know, they took away all the Stark tech. They
Sewed
brought
his
his
own
character
suit.
full circle.
Oh
He
yeah,
sewed
that's
his own
it.
fucking suit.
Yeah.
That's a good
It's
point.
just-
Like
it's just-
Pamajam in the chat was saying like, oh, you will find out more about this Spider-Man in the Spider-Man freshman year on Disney Plus, that animated show coming out.
So
Because
the animated show is
that
based on
animated show
MCU?
is based on the MCU Spider-Man, like freshman year college.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. That's interesting. Yeah, because yeah, that's gonna be very interesting how they do that. I'll be more invested in watching it now. And also, like, I got to mention the thing where like when they fucking like stabbed Toby at the end, I was like, you better fucking not. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
was about to
better
be
not kill
fucking
him.
pissed.
Yeah, I was like, no, I've been
No,
stabbed
'cause-
before.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel like it didn't even need to happen because like it was so
Same.
inconsequential.
Yeah.
Right,
know?
exactly. He was just
Like
like,
they make
I'm
a
good.
joke out of it at the end. He's just like, I'm in a lot of pain. It's like
Yeah.
you should like see a doctor about that. That's kind of bad, you know?
Yeah,
It's just like is he gonna go
exactly.
back to his world and die? Just like you know, like he's bleeding out right
Right.
now and no one cares.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
he's just like, oh yeah, I'm good. I've been stabbed before multiple times. But like, you know, something else.
maybe they
it was
did
like,
originally have him die, but it was like,
I think that. No, because I
Dude,
think they did have it, but I
could-
hate when shows do that. Like, I really,
I
fucking
would
hate-
not be surprised if they originally had Toby died and they showed
They
some
did.
test screenings and they murdered. Like the people who were showing like the test screening all died because the audience killed them.
No, exactly. That's what I remember. I heard that as a rumor so many times that like I think they originally did plan to kill him off, but like it's just to me I fucking despise that and like that's why I have like issue with like especially Star Wars stuff when like if you're gonna bring someone back after a long period of them being gone and then like kill them off because we got these new people that pisses me off. If you bring them back and then like eventually kill them off. Like you give them like a movie and eventually do it. Okay, I'm more accepting of it. But that whole thing of just like,
you don't need to pass the torch and then immediately toss them in a body bag. Like it's fine. Like
that shit. It pisses me off every single time. I hate it. I've never seen it done right. Besides, the only time it was done right was in 21 Jump Street when they had the 80s cops come in from the actual TV show with freaking Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. That was the fun because they made a whole joke out of it and it's fucking hilarious. But like, yeah, every other time it pisses me off. But overall, I would say like, go ahead.
I was gonna say there was one thing we didn't really talk about, but I saw in the chat about like Matt Murdock showing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unironically, I was almost more hyped for that than I was for.
Yeah,
Andrew
that was the
Toby,
first
just
moment in the
because-
film where my audience was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great because also like you know like if you've been watching Hawkeye, like they were like, oh, this character's here. So I was like, oh shit, there we go. And so like that was the
It's like
time where you're
Netflix.
just like,
The Netflix series are canon now.
besides one of them, we're not yeah.
I'm just.
You will fix
I
that.
loved that fucking show, and I'm so glad that Charlie Cox is going to be able to keep
Daredevil's
doing
great.
things.
Yeah, Daredevil's
'Cause-
fucking phenomenal.
I was like, if they have the gall to recast Daredevil in the MCU, I will riot because like
I wonder if it's past
you
season
did it.
3 though, or like if it's like because they said their versions are like they are the same actors and characters, but there's slight differences. So I'm just like, Well, that's interesting how you're going about that, because I want them to be the same things from the same show and talk about their things. Because like I remember during the Netflix shows, they would always like hint about like MCU stuff, and they never say it. Oh, the big green guy. Oh, that freaking guy who came from space and stuff like that. And it's just like they didn't just straight up say it, and now it's just like, oh, well, at least you're part of it now.
I feel like if it wasn't for Disney being a monolithic evil megacorp, that probably they would have made those canon, but I'm sure Disney's going to be like, no, we need to make our own version so we can make even more money.
Right.
You know? So they'll probably redo it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But like, so far, I would say honestly, after like the hype brain calmed down, is most definitely thanks to Toby and Andrew being in this. Like that is what boosted this for me. Because I got so many messages from people asking me like, how'd you like this compared to Spider? Of course, Spider-Verse anime version, that's way better. I will say this though, this did give me a bigger emotional feel than the anime Spider-Verse did, because I don't know, like, okay, so there were like two moments in this, like first,
but then compare it to part 1 and part 2 of like Across the Spider-Verse when that comes out.
Well, no, I want to say this, like specifically, it was for the fact that you hit the nostalgia button, but you did it properly. Like you hit the nostalgia button properly, where it's just like, I haven't seen Toby since I was a kid, and you brought him in and you made him do all this awesome stuff. That gave me like such chills of like, I was dead ass. I was with ZJ, my friend Z, and me and him, I looked over him, his eyes were watering, my eyes were watering, because it was just like, fuck, dude, you hit that chord. You hit that fucking chord. I'm seeing Toby right now. I am so enthralled and excited. So that I can't, like, as much as I love Spider-Verse, I don't think it would have that same effect, just because that was a childhood nostalgia button that you knocked out the park. Also, when Andrew caught MJ and he was like, "Are you okay?" That scene, I freaking man-teared hard at that, because I was just like, "Oh fuck, dude!" Like because I have that whole thing where like seeing someone accomplish something they really want to after so many times, like that affects me on a level. So when he was doing it,
they set that up so well too.
Right.
They like planted seeds twice earlier in the movie. You know, him talking to Toby about like, you know, like I don't have anybody. We can't really have, you know, we can't have significant others with this life. He's like, oh, you know, I made it work. It took a while.
Right.
And then there's like the moment where he's just like watching, you know, Tom and MJ, and he's just like kind of, you can just tell without. This movie's really good at communicating a lot with a little. Like there was no like overly hammy, like we're gonna explain everything. You know, because like that moment,
I finally did it. I finally caught her. It's like it was just like all with facial action. Like, go ahead, Tom. Yeah.
And like another scene too. It's like when fucking Tom is like about to murder Goblin, and Toby just swings in and stops him, and there's no dialogue. It's just a look, because they already said everything earlier. They had the whole discussion, you know, when he was like breaking down. So like they don't need to repeat any of that. All these characters already know it. It's just a look, and the look says everything. Right. And it was just the script had respect for the audience to be like, you understand these characters, you understand what's being communicated non-verbally here. We don't need to bog down the script with anything else. The visual says everything.
Right. And that's so much better. That is like, action speaks so much louder than words. So that's why I fucking love that whole thing. Like that was great. And yeah, like I would say like easily top 5 MCU film. One of my favorite, like I would say like when it comes to Spider-Man films, like of course it's I would probably put it like it probably 3 for me. Yeah, probably 3 for me, just because I was not expecting to see all this other stuff and the way it made me feel emotionally. So yeah, I really did love this film. I really did. There are some things that I was just like, oh, I wish that would have been better or longer, something like that. Like one thing that's very small, but I got everything else, so I can't really complain. I really kind of wanted the other Spider-Man to talk about Tom's eyes in his spider suit. Like, why are your eyes blinking like that? Like, how does that work? Like, how does that work? That's true. That is the only one thing I wanted, but everything else I got. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything like that. That was great. I loved it.
All right.
Yeah, I think I would put this third as well. I think it'd be Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2, then this one.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna remove the spoiler screen now, so you can unmute at the moment. And then we'll go on to some trailer talk. So let's Hero. Yeah, tag Hero and Saber.
Be done.
So the first thing is Smiling Friends, which is going to be premiering on Adult Swim next month. It's very interesting to see like internet animators like get their own show.
Right.
Because they had a pilot that aired on Adult Swim, and now they're getting their full series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the pilot was interesting. I liked how Max DeClasso was in it too. He voiced one of the characters.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll see how it does, because it comes out on January 9th, so it's only like in a couple of weeks.
Huh. That's not too far.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or 3 weeks, I guess. But yeah,
Right.
that comes out very soon. On Adult Swim. And then let's see. Our next thing. Speaking of Marvel, we got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Which I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean-
I don't know anything about this
I don't know. And
series.
I don't know anything either. I was like looking
you
at
just had to say Devil Dinosaur. I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
The art looks really good,
it's
too, so.
executive produced by Lawrence Fishburne, which I think because he also voices in it, so I'm guessing he's also going to voice the Devil Dinosaur. It looks like oh, that seems like the character he's going to voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
he's Moon Girl.
Yeah, he's Moon Girl. He's like Dr. Girlfriend. Uh,
Yeah,
Who's the
that
animation studio behind that?
I don't know, but there was like a little teaser that they posted up on YouTube, and Lawrence Fishburne like introduces it, saying like, oh,
I'm,
I
like,
just finished voicing this. Take a look.
I'm
mhm.
getting like Rise of the TMNT vibes, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the color palette choice. I think
It
I don't
might
think
be.
it's the same studio, but like there's something about it that's like. hitting
Oh,
me.
okay, yeah. Toon J just said in the chat, it says it's being animated by Flying Bark Productions, who did Rise of the TMNT. So yeah,
Look at that! I'm a fucking god.
but yeah, that'll be fun when that comes out in summer.
The fight scenes are gonna be
next
fucking
year.
sick then, though. Now I'm definitely
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah, seriously.
Next thing, The House, which is from this stop motion animation studio from Britain, I believe. And I looked at the studio. I think it was like called Nexus Studios or whatever. And they've done like a lot of commercials and junk. I think this is their first series. I'm not completely
Looks
sure on
good.
that because I looked at their like wiki page and I just saw a bunch of stuff for like commercials they have done for like stop motion animation. But this is like an animated horror anthology that they're doing on Netflix, which
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it looks very interesting. Very very weird character designs for stop motion. They got like these humans with like very tiny faces.
Yeah.
Very weirdly
Odd.
shaped like rats and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, this will be a very interesting series. And it's an anthology too, which those are always fun.
Yeah,
And that comes out
aesthetically,
next
this
month.
looks fantastic.
Mhm.
And then the next thing, I hope Saber comes back for this. The Bad Guys.
The bad guys.
The furry's new fucking fetish.
The
It's finally
Jew.
here.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks really cool. Honestly.
does.
I think aesthetically, it's pretty neat. I kind of, this is based on a series of books. I'm kind of sad they didn't use the book's aesthetic. I mean, I understand why, because like it's not very.
Yeah, the book. Yeah, the
appeasing.
book. Yeah, the book is aesthetic is like this. This is very much like an aesthetic you see in a book and not in a movie.
Right. I'm kind of what I said in the chat is like I hope they do like how sometimes with these animated movies they do like an end credit scene in 2D, like a little as the credits are going they do like little animations. I'd love to see like
they kind of did that with Captain Underpants, I think.
Yeah,
where they
like
just
do
did,
little
like, the
simple
2D.
2D animations in the style of the books at the end. Like that would be enough because I just think those characters look really interesting. I'd like to see how they move, but like the style even in this movie is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they It's definitely the most stylized film that they've had since Captain Underpants, from DreamWorks.
Yeah. Okay. Place bets. Will he become a cop by the end? Yes or no?
Yes, of course.
That's what everyone on Twitter is complaining about, because they're saying like it's going to be Nick Wilde all over again. He's going to become a cop, and we can't have that because. So will he be a cop by the end? Yes or no?
Uh,
I'm gonna say no. The reason I'm saying no is because I don't think he ever becomes a cop in the books, and also I think it would be way too close to Zootopia for them to get away.
yeah,
That's my guess. He will definitely be a nice man, though.
a nice guy.
Yeah. He will be wearing a fedora, unironic.
One thing I did notice about this film, as far as like the motion of the wolf character, it looks a lot like Lupin the Third, as far as like how lanky he is.
That is a very good point. Now, pointed
Yeah.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good character to take inspiration from.
definitely. I was also going to say, also place your bets. Which character is going to get the most porn?
The wolf, obviously.
Yeah, the wolf probably.
Yeah, but surprisingly, I have been seeing a lot of the spider.
Where? Send it to me. I mean, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Exposed.
The bad guys. Whatever.
But yeah, it's not quite Zootopia, because Zootopia only has mammals in it, and this troupe of characters only has one mammal. With
There's a
the wolf.
piranha on land. I
Yeah.
can't wait for them to explain that.
And also a
explain
shark.
Piranha. How's a
Okay,
piranha?
is it just me? All right, I'm looking at this freeze frame right now. I'm gonna send it to you so you can agree or just you can link it in the chat also.
What?
Use my I know how to use my screenshots. Dropping this link in the chat. Here it is. Does this guy not look like that fucking disgusting Mucinex character? That they
Oh
use in
my
all the
god!
Mucinex commercials?
the piranha, like
Oh,
yeah,
he does!
like a Mucinex
I was
monster.
like trying to think of where do I remember this guy from? And I'm pretty sure he's just the Mucinex man.
That's nasty.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's what exactly it looks like. He looks exactly like that.
Come on. Look, he even has it's the same character. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's got like the
Right,
suspenders and everything. Yeah.
Oh my god. It's
All
the
right.
same character.
But yeah, that's wait, let's see, when is this coming out? Yeah, April 22nd next year. Okay. Next
It's the
thing,
scary one.
Halo, the series.
I'm
Halo
so
the
fucking scared.
series!
They've been talking about this shit for years now.
I know.
Like, didn't they like launch the Xbox One talking about the Halo series?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure they did. It's been a hot minute, and this looks incredible. Like,
it does.
just visually, like they nailed it. Like
Yeah.
with that fucking shot with Chief, it's like holy shit.
Yeah, it looks like
They
really
did it.
good. Like it looks like
Yep.
I couldn't even. It looks like a very hyper realistic video game when they show
Yeah.
Chief, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
It looks like a 343 cinematic from like Guardians or something. It's like
Right.
on point, and like the Pelicans look perfect, and like just the Marines run around look exactly correct. The Halo ring looks. It's really fucking solid. I am terrified though, because like they're not using the voice actor for Chief. They're gonna have a different voice actor.
well, no,
which
it's like
could-
a whole actor, right? Like
They're using.
oh, go ahead.
From what I heard, they're not casting. What's his name? Steven Downs, right?
Yeah,
He's
like
not. I don't think he's voicing Chief in this.
so I was wondering, is it just the actor in the suit who's voicing Chief, or are they having a voice over for Chief?
I don't know. That's a good question. All
Yeah.
I've heard so far is that Stephen Downs is not involved in this, which won't break it for me, but that's kind of a bummer. Like they could have done a Star Wars thing and just had a guy in a suit and had Stephen Downs do the voiceover because like
Right.
he's so iconic in the role, and like that's like the one thread that kind of connects Chief because he has no face, he has no expressions, he doesn't have much in terms of like visual mannerisms. Like you connect with the character through the way he looks and his voice.
Right.
Yeah.
So taking that away is going to be strange. But also I just don't trust anyone. I don't know anyone who's involved with it. Honestly, I haven't dug too deep into it. But the fact that this is taking so long terrifies me. Because I mean, not even 343 is like handling Halo's story fantastically, as we discussed earlier. So who knows what this could end up being? But just in terms of like the aesthetic, they are on point. Everything else is up in the air, and I'm very worried. Cautiously optimistic, but
I'm a bit more like optimistic with like stuff like this as far as like video game adaptations into series rather than movies, because they just usually do video game adaptations do better as a series, because video game stories like take a while to tell.
They're long.
Yeah, and you spend more time with the characters in video games. So it just makes more sense to adapt them as series since you spend so long with those characters. This is the same thing they're doing with the Last of Us series. And so far, like the different video game series adaptations that they've done over the past few years have been pretty good. For like from different.
I mean, we just came off of Arcane, which is like the best video game adaptation of all time. So,
but it's interesting what they're going to do with Halo, because like Halo has like more of a more concrete story than a lot of those other adaptations, like Arcane or Castlevania.
A ton of supplementary material for Halo. There's so much.
Yeah.
So there's a lot they could pull from. It could be great. It could be the worst thing ever. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. I can't wait to watch it. Definitely legally on Paramount Plus. And
definitely for sure. But yeah, we'll see. It comes out sometime next year. Just 2022. We don't have a concrete release date yet. But yeah, the next thing.
Was Pablo
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Didn't we talk about that?
Nope.
Oh no, we did that on Semi Perfect Pod. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah, that was on the other podcast.
Crossing the streams.
But yeah, this was revealed when we were watching the Game Awards. I said this on Twitter, like this movie from this trailer, it seems like the movie that people thought the first movie was.
Yeah.
Because like I saw like a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog from 2020 is like, that's the best video game movie ever. But
again,
yeah.
You know what it was? Again, like we talked about this before, but like the reason people were saying that was because they forgave Sega for what they did. For like, because the fact that Sega was just like, hey, you know what? We're sorry that we thought this first design was good. We will literally go back and refurbish it. So when that design came out,
I am thankful that they did that though, because otherwise, this movie would have looked really weird.
Oh, exactly. Tails. Imagine Tails with the first design. Beautiful.
So I'm very glad that they did go back on that.
Yeah, I actually really like the designs of these characters that they're doing in the movies.
Yeah.
I think they look good. Which is insane to think that we're saying that, but
my friend and me got into a bit of a spat because he was just like, it looks good, but it doesn't look realistic, you know? I was like, what the fuck do you want it to look realistic? It's a 3-foot fucking hedgehog. Like, what the fuck do you want it to look like? Okay,
just like send him a photo of a hedgehog. You want this guy?
Yeah, so it's just like, how realistic do you want it to look? Like, because I can sort of see what he means. Like, for instance, like with Detective Pikachu looks tangible. Detective Pikachu looks like you can reach out and grab that, and it's like, oh, it's an actual animal thing. Sonic does look like a CGI character in real life, but again, it looks good. It looks good for what it is. Like I'm not like freaking out over it.
Right.
And then we got freaking Idris Elba Knuckles, mate. I'm fucking so thankful. What you gonna do?
The thing is, like, with the one line that he has in the trailer, I can't tell if he's doing his accent or not.
Nah,
like,
he's not. He's not.
Yeah.
He's just doing, do I look like I need your power? Hey, I'm fucking Knuckles. You know the way this fist my boy right here. It's just like, shut up, Knuckles. Like, it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking bad, mate. Right? Oh, I'm fucking sexy. I'm Margot Robbie's mine now. She's gonna fuck. Margot Robbie for Rouge the Bat. Whatever. No, like,
Oh my god.
Will Smith
but yeah, from what I've seen in this trailer, and also like there were a lot of like kind of references to the games and stuff in this, so I think this one will be a lot more like a lot more fan servicey with like the fans and stuff, as far as like putting in things that people recognize from the games. Because like I saw some stuff from like, oh, that's like Sonic 3, that's like Sonic Adventure.
The fucking robots actually looking like animals this time.
Yeah.
Like the wasp shit, that was cool. Yeah. That's
it
awesome.
looks like the best you could possibly do with what they're attempting.
Mhm.
It sounds like a backhanded compliment. It's not. I feel like they could only do better if they just had made it a full stop animated movie, but in light of not doing that, I feel like this is like the best you can do.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So like at the end of the movie when freaking Shadow shows up, because you know that's what's gonna happen, they're gonna hint to fucking Shadow. Oh god, it's Shadow the Hedgehog, and he's voiced by Will Smith because the Suicide Squad, and he's making revenge and shit like that. So whatever.
What's by Will Smith?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Marco Robbie. Yeah, man. He's like, you a fool, Sonic.
Who would voice Amy?
Amy, that freaking who's the girl from freaking Pitch Perfect? Fat Amy. Yo, Fat Amy, mate. Like,
God.
The
British one?
she's an annoying girl. Yeah, the Australian girl. Yeah, the annoying girl. Fat Amy is Amy. And she's not fat anymore, so like I can say that. So whatever, but like you know what I mean. I don't know her name. Who would be a good voice for her? Because I think like Rouge the Bat should have like a sensual, sexy voice. So I think like Scarlett Johansson, who loves voiceover stuff, like I think that'd be a good one. Or like Angelina Jolie would work too. Like I think either of that. I think Scarlett would be easier because she likes doing voiceover stuff. She said, and then like she was hot as fucking her, and she was just a voice. She was just a voice in her, and I was like, "Oh, fuck that box." So yeah, let's see. Oh god, yeah, let's see. Oh my god, who has the hot voice? Oh man, yeah.
Anyway, let's keep it going here. We only have a few more topics, and we'll try to go through Q&A.
Shadow.
All right, Game Awards. It happened. I watched it mostly with Viva, and then Hero came in every so often while he was playing Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Because I guess you were just watching it on like another window or whatever.
I had it over there, and every time a story beat wasn't happening, I had it unmuted. Yes.
But yeah. So other than Sonic, which we just talked about.
Yeah. What happened that day? I like my memory of it is like just in fragments at this point. It's just like I remember
there was a Wonder Woman game announced for that.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It looks like Linda Carter.
Could be cool.
I remember Imagine Dragons singing their Arcane song and chat just saying E a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's
Metroid One. It's
action adventure.
It's an action adventure category.
Yeah, Metroid One action adventure, but that was neat. And when they did the that orchestral version for like
didn't win Game of the Year, thank God.
Yeah, it went to It Takes Two.
It takes two to be alright.
Okay.
That was in the trailer of the game. Oh yeah, the Cuphead DLC was revealed.
Yes,
The
with
delicious
hot
last course.
girl.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is definitely what the name of it was going to be, and it is completely just a coincidence that it also spells DLC. Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way that was intentional. That game
Yes.
is going to be great.
Star Wars Eclipse was announced, which I thought looked cool, and then I guess Quantic Dream involved, and now I'm scared.
yeah.
But what kind of game is it though? I don't know.
You just run around, Vader, Vader,
Vader.
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 Oh yeah. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Psychonauts got nothing. They were nominated for
Those
quite a
Cartoons
few
are for
things.
Mm.
babies. Paleo. Now let's go enjoy our millions of dollars we got for spotlighting Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Mm. And then what else?
Yeah.
What else?
Well, the
interesting
Sonic game was revealed, Sonic Frontiers.
Can't wait to play Halo Infinite, but as Sonic.
But in Sonic, yeah. Or is it
They're all the
Sonic of the
same,
Colossus? Because there was like a giant robot
Mm.
thing there. That'd be interesting. I'm trying to think of what else was revealed.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up Game
Open
Award
World Sonic
reviews.
is gonna be so. Because I made that. I'm not like a crazy Sonic person. I've mentioned before that I always want Sonic to be good for Sonic fans, but I'm not crazy about Sonic. But like, and I hate open world just kind of in general. I just don't like it.
Play
But
Spider-Man.
I feel there are good open world games. It's just me personally. I don't like them.
No, I
But
know
I
that.
feel
I'm
like-
saying, have you played Spider-Man yet?
I have not played Spider-Man yet. No,
I
have
think you
not.
should play it. You would love it.
I'm sure it's good.
You love Spider-Man 2. We had a talk about Spider-Man.
I did like Spider-Man 2. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it's
Um,
advanced Spider-Man 2.
I was just going to say, if there's any place that Sonic can go fast, I guess open world would be it, right? How do you not go fast in open world?
I'm sure they could find a way. This is Sonic Team we're talking about. They found a way to mess this up in creative ways I didn't even think possible. They've done it.
Mhm.
All right, Alan Wake 2 announcement trailer.
Oh yeah.
That looks kind of cool. I've wanted to play the first Alan Wake. I haven't, but they just remastered it, so I waited for a reason. Star Wars Eclipse, which we talked about. Nightingale. I don't even remember this, and I watched the games. Details. Don't get your hopes up, our fans. Well, that's a strange way to hype up a trailer. Reading. Star Trek Resurgence. I don't even remember this. There's a Star Trek game. Okay.
Yeah.
Dune Spice Wars.
Oh yeah,
about
the Doom
that.
game.
The Expanse, a Telltale. Telltale exists again? Didn't they like die?
Yeah.
in the
They
fire?
because at the last Game Awards they announced The Wolf Among Us 2.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Who's making these games? If Telltale, whatever. Sonic Frontiers, Slitherhead, which looks kind of cool.
Yeah. That's from the people who developed like the first Silent Hill.
Yeah. Rumbleverse, which looked awful.
Yeah.
That was the one where it's like the cartoony people just beating the shit out of
Yeah.
each other in the city. That looked really bad. Sorry. I knew. Oh no, Wonder. Oh god, this article has like the descriptions above the trailer instead of below.
Oh.
So I was reading the description for Wonder Woman for Rumbleverse, and it's like a new project developed by Monolith, the team behind Shadow of Mordor. I'm like, they're making Rumbleverse, but they're making. All right. Among Us VR. That was another thing that was.
Oh
announced.
yeah.
Forgot about that. That was scary. Space Marine 2, which could be cool. That looked dope. Warhammer game. Thirsty Suitors. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't remember that being
Okay.
announced.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
Wait, a video game?
Yeah, they're making a
Yeah,
game for that.
apparently.
Wait, what? Where? I didn't hear about this.
It's a new asymmetrical.
you should have watched the
multiplayer
awards
horror
with me.
game. Friday
You
the
would've seen
13th.
it.
I missed. I was busy. Oh, sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
I'll link it to you in the chat. It's a multiplayer game.
Oh, is it like
Yeah.
the Jason game?
I guess.
Maybe. I think it's by the same guys, right? Yeah. It's from the
Oh,
Friday the 13th
shit!
developers.
Oh,
This is their next game.
dope!
I'll link
Fuck
it in the
yeah!
chat.
Can you like
There you go.
hang people up?
I mean, there's like ropes hanging from trees in the picture, so I've watched.
Oh, dude, you get to like cook people? Oh, fuck, that'd be so dope. Oh,
So, like,
shit.
there were a couple things here that I was like pretty interested in. Most of it was kind of mid,
Yeah.
but that's okay. It was the Game Awards, so I don't. My expectations are usually pretty mid in general.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Nightingale was that weird game, kind of like Victorian era, and they were
Yeah,
going through, like,
yeah.
portals and
Yeah,
stuff.
I was like, this looks like Soul's aesthetic almost.
It did kind of have that vibe. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. It could be good, it could be bad, but it
Okay,
looked,
yeah.
oh no, no, wait, I don't care anymore. Shared world survival crafting game.
Yeah,
died.
yeah. So I was gonna look at the winners here because like Game of the Year went to It Takes Two, Best Game Direction to Deathloop, Best Narrative to
Wow.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which I've heard is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I heard
I
Guardians.
bought it and I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, best art direction went to Deathloop, which is a shame because like Kana, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and The Artful Escape like were all in that category, and like all of them look like they have better art direction than Deathloop.
Dude, I was like, for some reason, I had this like weird chip on my shoulder about Deathloop, and I was like, I don't know why I kind of like am mad at this game, even though I know nothing about it. And then I watched Philip's review, and he's like, "This game's terrible." I'm like, "Oh no."
No,
It was weird.
I think it's because like because I don't know if you watched a lot of this stuff with me with like all the state of plays.
You know what?
and-
You're right. It's because they
like-
fucking played the shit out of that.
Yeah,
game. Like, every
they
event.
showed it like at every presentation for like the past year and a half or whatever.
That's true. That's why I hate it. I remember we said that, like, not at the Game Awards, like the event we watched, like the PlayStation Showcase, right? Didn't they show it at that?
Yeah.
It was one of the events we saw earlier this year, and I was like, really again? Yeah. I
But
don't know.
best score in music went to Near Replicant. I have that and I started playing it, but I need to play through it. Best audio design for Forza. Best performance to Maggie Robertson for Lady D in Resident Evil Village, which that was cool. She's also very tall in real life, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
We saw that when she walked on the screen. She was like, we're like, oh, okay. Cool.
Tom said B or B.
Best ongoing game with the Final Fantasy 14.
Yay.
Of course.
And also community support for Final Fantasy 14.
The community is nuts. It's very good, which is funny because I come from other games where I'm like, yeah, it's true. It's definitely true.
Best indie game went to Kana.
Arcana?
Or was it Kena? Kena Bridge of
No,
Spirits?
I don't know how to pronounce. No one knows how to pronounce this. I swear.
Best action game with the Returnal. Best action adventure game with the Metroid Dread, which I was very happy about. That Metroid won something.
Yeah.
Best
Game's
RPG
great.
went to Tales of Arise. Best fighting game with the Guilty Gear Strive. Best sports racing game went to Forza Horizon. Best family game went to It Takes Two, which also won multiplayer.
And also Game of the Year.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a show. Very long though. It was a very long show.
Mm.
Isn't it just usually that long though? I feel like it's that long every year.
Yeah, it's usually 3 hours, but like if you include the pre-show, it's like 3.5. And they also show
Yeah,
awards during
yeah.
the pre-show, which why
Yeah.
there's a lot less of a focus on the awards and more focus on
Yes.
just reveals and stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, got a few more things here. Next, Garfield is going to be in Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl.
Is he going to be voiced by Chris Pratt? Mm-hmm. Damn.
It's interesting though, they are going to be adding voice acting into the game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Garfield's next character, and they're going to be adding
Just in
voice
time
acting.
for Chris Pratt to voice Garfield.
Yes.
That's what
yeah,
I
yeah,
said.
yeah, Jax just made that joke.
you tried to steal my joke, Tommy. Oh,
It's
It's just so
like I just
good. I
have
decided
that.
to use it again.
Yeah.
There was a great post that was a fake, but it was like photoshopped really well. So for a second, I believed it, of saying like, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl won't have Garfield playable on Mondays, and I was like,
Yeah.
that would have been
That's great.
hilarious.
That's
would've been
fucking
funny.
great.
Next we have
Can anyone do a Garfield voice good though these days?
excuse me.
Bless
Kind
you.
of sniffling. Cowboy Bebop got canceled after one
Lol.
season.
Yeah.
One
What is
season
that?
too many.
No, exactly. We talked about this before, but it's just like it's one of those situations.
It's a lose-lose.
where- Yeah, exactly. It's a lose-lose, but also it's just like I watched the entire thing all the way through, and again, like I was one of those people where I have seen shit far worse. So like to me, that was just like, okay, but like, does it mean I want a second season? No. Does it just mean like it's just one of those things that's out there and like, okay, whatever. Like I'm just so colossally indifferent to this. The only thing, again, what I'm worried about is just like these people who ran this and Cowboy, which is a pretty grounded series, Cowboy Bebop, are also doing One Piece, and I have no idea how the fuck you're gonna make that work. Like, I don't know how you're gonna make Luffy stretching work. I have no idea how you're gonna make Zoro fighting with a sword in his mouth work. I have no idea how you're gonna make the Fishman and Arlong, all these other.
I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder since if they've canceled Cowboy Bebop, they just scrap One Piece entirely.
Oh man, those actors who are posting online about like, oh, I'm so happy to be Usopp and Sanji and all this stuff, like that's gonna be sad for him. But hey, I mean, yeah, it's just a very odd thing. Like it's a very
remember they completely scrapped the pilot of Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, because they need to learn.
Yeah.
That could have been a funny train wreck. If that came out, it would have been terrible, but hilarious. It would have been like, this is so fucking god awful. Like, wow, like it's stupid. But yeah, with this whole thing, Cowboy Bebop, it's just, shit happens.
All right.
Oh well.
Cowboy Bebop is just like so unneeded to have an adaptation. It's like timeless. It's just good. Like you watch it and it's perfect. It's exactly what it should be. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right. Last topic before Q&A. Well, we'll try to get through Q&A as quickly as possible because we're going late because we started late.
Right.
Strange World is the next film by Disney, which looks very interesting from the concept art they posted.
Is it a strange world?
Yes. The concept art they posted kind of reminds me of Alien Planet, if you've ever seen that.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about. And yeah.
But so I'm very interested in this when this comes out next year. I have to wait for a trailer. But yeah, it's nice to see Disney doing some really weird looking stuff.
Well, they're getting into that multiverse with the MCU, so like, let's just weird multiverse shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can't
Q&A
wait for
time.
Frozen to join the MCU.
So we have a few questions here from the chat. Couple of member questions from 4-month members, Daily18 and Editman, saying with 2022 coming around the corner, what was a moment in 2021 which you considered as the biggest problem in the universe?
Nothing. I don't do that shit anymore. Biggest problem in the universe?
What?
The podcast, the biggest problem in the universe, now defunct podcast of Dick Masterson and Maddox.
The what?
There's a podcast, a very famous podcast called The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And
well, it's not very famous if I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So paleo, master of all things. I stand corrected. What's the question? What was the biggest problem of the year?
I guess.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, like
Coronavirus.
I mean, yeah, like yeah. Yeah, like the biggest problem was like, oh, the virus was like, yeah, we're getting vaccines, like cases are going down, and then like new variant, oh, cases are going up again. Oh.
The biggest problem in the universe is that COVID's still going on, so Spider-Man wasn't able to outbox office Avengers. That's the biggest problem in the universe.
Then question from Edaman says, no questions this podcast for me since I had a car crash. I'm fine now, but how's the weather for you guys this week? Damn, hope you're okay.
Hey,
Yeah, he says he's fine now, so he's okay. But I hope your car's fine. I hope you can get it
salvageable.
I hope it's like salvageable. You'll be able to fix it. And if not, I hope you'll be able to get a car.
Right. Yeah, goddamn. It's really cold where I am. So...
It was actually warm this week, surprisingly.
It is. It's not.
It was like 60 the last 2 days, and now it's like 28. And I'm just like, please. I hate it.
It doesn't need to be warm right now. I don't understand why it is. It's concerning.
Let's see.
I was just saying.
Plus 30 right now.
Global.
Yes, I know.
Enigma Prince asking, what song each of you would say perfectly encapsulates 2021 as a whole, or what song speaks to you in general as to how 2021 has treated you?
Man, it's just how life is, I guess. I don't know.
2021 for me. I don't know. I've literally been singing Fit Right In from the MLP movie like every single night. Like I'm not even joking. Like every single night.
I've been doing inversely with Gonna Be My Day. That's been my workout song. So yeah.
I think the question is more like the way that 2021 makes you like feel like the tragedies and whatever that's going on. But like I'm gonna just spin it and be like, if I was to think of one song from 2021, it'd be Fit Right In, because it's been my life since the movies come out. So
yeah, I've had like the soundtrack like repeat a lot throughout the year ever since it came out. And then from Lord Zaris says, if Idris is voicing Knuckles, who do y'all think will voice Shadow eventually? Any ideas? Yeah, like like Jack says, Will Smith.
I need Sonic and Knuckles to be together, and then Shadow just walks in and like, ha 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 ha. Could you imagine?
Yo, man, you and I'm the ultimate life form, bruh. You know,
I was talking about those men in black, what about the hedgehogs in black anyway?
From Major Mikazawa here on Twitter, it says, what's your favorite video game console of all time? Just going off the system's library and the good memories you have of it. Mine's the PS2.
Well, I mean, technically PS2, but I enjoy my PS3 because it played PS1 and PS2 games. So that was great.
Well, you got your early PS3 anyway.
Yeah, I got my early PS3 back in 2000.
Does it still work?
Yeah, it still works. It's right there.
Damn, those are like prone to failure. That thing's like worth its weight in gold.
Well, I haven't used it in like a year, but it still works because I turn it on every now and then just to make sure. But yeah, like it's good.
God.
Super Nintendo. It's impossible to.
Yeah, I love the Super Nintendo.
Aside from nostalgia, that lineup still is.
Yeah, though I would also argue the Game Boy Advance, because the Game Boy Advance like has a lot of those it has a lot of those Super Nintendo games, and it can play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games.
What about Game Boy Advance SP? Because it had the backlight.
I mean, that's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing, Paleo.
It's the same. It plays the same games.
It's the same generation.
It's the same generation. We're talking about.
Game Boy Advance.
It's a better version of the Game Boy Advance, but it still plays Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, it's still technically a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, but it's a Game Boy Advance SP because it has a glow light. Does the Advance have a glow? No.
You can mod it to have one.
Yeah, but I don't want to mod it. I want to just turn it on when I'm driving home with my mom after I go watch a freaking movie, eating my whatever they are. I miss those.
Eating whatever it is I'm eating.
But what about you, Tom?
I mean, the answer is clearly PS2.
Yeah, PS2 is goated.
PS2 is
It's-
an incredible
it's
console
too
with
good.
so much shovelware. Oh my lord, it has so much shovelware, but the things that aren't shovelware are like gold, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It like literally cancels them out. It just doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And you can play PS1 if you get really bored.
Yes.
You say really bored, but sometimes you just want to play those games because they're good.
Are they though?
Yes.
they are. My dad
Yeah.
still plays his PS1 games too.
You know, it's all about Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko.
Yes.
Hey,
Jack.
hey,
Gex 3 is
Jack-
that's the weirdest Gex. Like, it's so weird.
Which is
Jack-
saying a lot, considering all those games are bizarre.
Jax, how old is your dad?
My dad is shit. How old is he? Let me go ask him. I'll be right back.
Gex 3 is that one with like you're like talking with like the blonde beautiful lady or
Yeah,
whatever. You're like
Agent
a spy.
Extra.
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
fuck was that game? Like, honestly,
He was fucking that girl.
he was
Canon.
definitely. They were definitely.
I don't know how that works. I don't want to know how that works. Just think, in another universe, that's the plot of like every Sonic game, because that was the original concept for Sonic, to have a human girl.
But they did it in 06.
We all know how that worked out. Can I just say, as a small little tangent, the fact that like there's like a small contingency of YouTube that like it's been long enough now that we're gonna make the case that Sonic 06 was a masterpiece. Actually, you can all die.
What?
Yeah, there's just like everything else. Like there's eventually, a time when people are like, you know what, this thing that's universally considered bad was actually good. And by saying that, I'll get tons of page views on YouTube, and then people will take my bait to try and get page views seriously,
Yeah.
and then parrot my opinion.
You know,
and it will be fun
I'm still going to defend like all the Jurassic Park sequels though. Like, but the Lost World, like especially though, the Lost World Jurassic Park is like actually a good movie. I will not let anybody say it's a bad one.
Sonic the Hedgehog's alignment is
That was the one
chaotic
where the girl
good.
was on the fucking bars flipping around and
Yeah, everybody talks about that. That's not even that big of a thing.
I don't know. That's the first thing I remember when I think of that movie.
My
There's
dad was
so
playing
much-
Final Fantasy. So
She was
he's
cool though, because
59.
she had a Sega Genesis,
There you
not a
go.
Super Nintendo.
She
so,
did
what,
have a
it is
Genesis.
good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, based.
Yeah. 59 playing his freaking Final Fantasy downstairs. His Final
Okay.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
8 to be
So
specific.
your dad's like the same age as
Fuck
mine. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Dude,
he loves
that's
that
some
game.
gamer cred right there. Final Fantasy 8. That's real.
He
shit.
loves that game. Like,
Yeah.
I always
On
catch
that
him playing that shit.
video games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's so weird how like some parents like got into games either when you were a kid or before you were a kid, and it's like
right.
it's kind of weird to see like other people's parents play games when like they're the same age as your parents.
Right.
Because like
No,
my parents didn't play games at all except for like Pac-Man, maybe.
Oh yeah. No, because I remember vividly, my dad was obsessed with like PS1 because like we shared the PS1 because like he got that Metal Gear Solid game, and I remember him just one night he was fucking just like having like a stress attack because like there was something where you're getting electrocuted and you have to do something with like an analog stick. It's like fuck. Dude, and it's just like, Dad, why is that big a deal? It's just like, look, have you ever wanted something really badly and then you have to keep working at it? And it's just like, I'm like, I don't know how old I was when that game came out, but he was explaining it to me. But yeah, I love my dad. He's good.
Oh, we got a few questions here, and then we'll end it.
Okay.
Nibber Friend's asking, what's the most bizarre entertainment or video game news you've heard in 2021, and what was your personal game of the year of 2021? Metroid Dread.
That one artistic direction, I don't know. That was weird.
That was weird.
The weirdest gaming news I've heard this year is that there is a NFT-based knockoff of Pokemon that blends mechanics with Hearthstone called Axie Infinity, and you have to buy each monster individually because they're NFTs, and the most expensive one is sold for $1.5 million. That's definitely the weirdest thing I've heard all year.
Why do rich people buy NFTs? They just like have them just to look at the shit. I don't know what this does. I just have it because everyone's
Because
talking about
when
it.
you have an Axie, which is what they're called instead of Pokemon, you can rent them out to poor people, and then you get 40% of all the money they make in the game. So you can basically just make passive income by being a landlord, but for digital monsters instead of.
Wow,
that
stupid.
sucks.
How
stupid.
timely is this? Legit, how timely is this? I take back my answer because I'm on Steam and I just scroll down and I see what the fuck? I see a game called Furry Fetishists, 28% off, sexual content, nudity, cyberpunk adventure. What?
Saber, you got your
No.
next
Send it to Saber.
game.
Send it to Saber.
What is this?
Saber Spark 64, more like Saber Spark 69. Am I right?
Yeah.
What's it?
That's
what's
gonna be our
that
Pornhub
called
spinoff.
now?
Is
Furry
this like
fetish?
a new game or what? Yo, it was released yesterday. Oh my god!
Screenshot
Oh, wow,
it.
that really
Does it
is
say Saber
explicit.
Spark
Oh my
wants to buy
lord!
this?
I definitely clicked on it, and I should not have clicked on it. Wow. Okay.
So I added that to your algorithm.
Oh dear.
Yep.
That video
VPN
started,
ain't
and
saving
it
you
sure
there.
fucking started. Let me tell you.
Oh god.
All right. So that's the
Um,
most bizarre, definitely.
definitely. Deleting asks, you just finished shopping, paper or plastic? They never ask me.
Honestly, if I can, neither. Like, just don't give me a bag if it's small
Yeah.
enough.
But what do you
No,
mean
for
not
real.
give you a bag? Like, what do you walk out like carrying it in your arms?
Yeah.
Like, how much are you getting? Wait,
I
no,
said,
I'm not-
I said if it's a small amount, yeah. If it's something that needs a bag, then I'm gonna take the plastic because
Yeah.
yeah, plastic has a
I'm
better
honest,
handle.
like, whatever.
Paper makes my hands feel weird. I don't know how to explain it. It just makes my hands feel weird.
I'm in Massachusetts. Everybody here is like moving to paper bags only. You like can't get plastic from most
Can't you-
places
There
now.
are definitely some places in the U.S. that are like,
Yeah.
plastic is the devil, and I get it, but like,
It's convenient. Also a good weapon for when you need it. Oh yeah, anyways. So yeah, that's yeah.
also, what? Why am I getting only loot games? What is
Wow,
this?
hero.
Wow, what have you been looking at?
Yeah.
I don't even
Final
look at
Fantasy
Steam. Don't even give me
is the
that.
gateway drug.
Oh, Hirasashi.
Among Us waifus 18 plus. What the?
Among Us waifus?
Hey, man, we don't hate you. We still love you, man.
We still love you.
Man, so it doesn't matter.
I'm so
Alright.
confused.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the podcast here. Sorry for not getting to everybody on Twitter. But we're like at 11:40 right now. So yeah, and also I'm still feeling kind of awkward and weird.
Yeah.
Awkward from the freaking drug. Yeah, that's true. You
Yeah.
need bed rest.
So yeah, next podcast. Next year. Yeah, we'll be on December 3rd. Not December 3rd. January 3rd. We're not going back in time.
Yeah.
Or waiting a year until the next podcast.
Right.
No. Yeah. January 3rd. So have a good Christmas. Or a Happy New Year, or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next podcast. So
See you next year.
goodbye,
folks.
everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.